everybody. What the fuck? You did not have that on before we went live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Geekin Out. Anyone who's listening, Rakia got a Black Panther mask on because it's December 21st. If y'all don't know, we'll talk about it later today. All right. Welcome to Geekin Out. Your number one spot for geeking and freaking. I just came up with that right now.
God.
My name is Duryea. My name is Duryea Rashad, and I'll be hosting this episode. Last episode, we had a guest on, and they hosted, and they did Christmas movies. So if you're here wondering why we're not doing Christmas movies, who did it last week? So tonight's topic is Revenge of the Reboots. We're going to be talking about all the reboots that exist and whether they suck or not, and if we need them, or is it like ingenuity, or is it just a lack of inspiration? But first, let's do our introductions. Let's actually start with our guest this week, because y'all know us. Y'all done seen us before. Our guest is my best friend, also multi-talented diva, okay? She do it all. Yes. Alex Mack. What's up, Alex?
What's up?
What's up? ATL all day.
All day.
Yeah. She is here. She also has she's also on our guest panelist from time to time on Talk It Out. And she also has a podcast of her own. Tell us about your podcast, Alex.
Yes, it's called Case of the X. Yes, we ripped it off from the Maya song, so that's what you're gonna think about. Keep remembering all the time. It's a podcast between me and my ex, and are tackling different relationship topics. Yes.
Really, it's your ex?
My actual ex.
That is
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wait. How is that? Okay, so you're like 3 episodes in. You were saying.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's
How's that going
good.
with your ex? Okay, so how did y'all end it?
Julian, what you're not gonna do?
I gotta know how you ended it.
It's my turn to host, Julian. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I need to know. I'm sorry.
It's cool. Yeah, me and my ex were actually good friends now. When we were breaking up, it was not so great. But yeah, we've gotten over it, moved past it. But we still have like really differing views on relationships, which is, why we broke up. So yeah, we decided to put our brains together and try to tackle and help our friends and family and whoever else will actually listen to us discuss their relationship problems.
Question, Alex.
Yes.
Is this ex of yours male or female?
She is female.
Now it's interesting because just the other day, like 2 days ago, somebody said to me, "Why is it that gay people always friends with their exes?"
Oh, okay.
Because if we weren't, we wouldn't have anybody to talk to.
We would have nobody.
No, nobody.
Also,
I'm just kidding.
The straights aren't all right. The straights are not all right.
That's what I was gonna say. It's because the gays they're emotionally more intellectual. That's probably why. But
I think it's also because of
what do we
circle
know?
of friends. I feel like when you're gay, y'all circle of friends is so similar when you date that when y'all break up, if y'all don't break up amicably, then you're fucking up the whole group.
It gets ugly.
Yeah.
Real ugly.
It was kind of like that.
So I am Duryea Rashad,
Gasp.
I know, right? Artist, I'm an artistic director and founder of Woe Nelly Media. And we also have Ricky Z. Ricky Z is a multimedia mogul. She's doing, her company, Ricky Z Social, deals with social media management, and she's also a teacher. Julian, a management by day, hood by night. You know what I'm saying? Geek, artist extraordinaire. Then we got Chris Steele, a former retailer, current H&R manager at one of the biggest universities in Georgia. Okay, so that's our panel. So before we head into
your very own Toby Flenderson.
Yeah,
I'm done.
So before we head into the "What Are You Geeking Out About" section, we're gonna do Ricky's Rant. So Ricky's Rant is a new segment where we named it after Ricky because she came up with it, but it can be anybody on the panel.
Okay.
Where we get 1 minute to rant about anything we want to rant about, and we don't get it, and there's no interruptions. And then after that minute, everybody can chime in and say what they feel about it. So today's Ricky's Rant is going to be me. I'm ranting. What I'm ranting about is buzzkills.
Okay.
Buzzkills. And I'm going to tell you about it because it kind of ties into what we were talking about, Ricky. Let me get this together. There we go. All right. Here we go. This is how I feel about buzzkills. Well, actually, no. Oops, stop it. I gotta preface it. So this is in response to everybody who knows December 21st is supposed to be like everybody on the internet's been talking about. Oh, black people are gonna get superpowers, and that's been like
the solstice.
Yeah, the Negro solstice, because the planetary alignment. Yeah, it happens, and it's supposed to activate black people's power. So this girl got online and basically was like, she was talking about the origin of that story and why it's like how it's connected to the Bible. And how the Bible said that black people will have 400. Bible claims that, her claim is that the black people are the original Jews, and that this is referring to that story. We're talking about the 400 years of servitude in a land that we can't speak the same tongue, that will be lifted on today. So she got online and said that, and at the end of it, she got really pissy and started saying like, this is not a fucking joke, blah, 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 blah. Okay, buzzkills. How about you sit your happy ass down? Okay, because at the end of the motherfucking day, black people are unifying as something positive. We don't get no damn superpowers. We are as a whole in a space where we want to share positivity with one another. And your buzzkill ass got to come on with your Bible. Why is it always with the Bible? And always got to tell somebody what they can and can't think and what they can't do and what they can't feel. I'm so tired of people who, when they see other people having a good time, just have to land in the middle of it and be a dick. Why? How about you find something within yourself to make you happy instead of seeking happiness from other people's misery? Whether it's that you're miserable and want people to join you, or whether it's that you're not getting laid enough. I get it. I get it. Sometimes that's what it is. You better get to know your left hand. Sometimes it might be a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, if you see people having fun and laughter, join in. Or otherwise, shut your unhappy ass up.
Shut it.
All right. Whew.
Period.
So much better. I feel so much better.
That was way more succinct than I thought it was.
Yeah, right?
I thought it was
Applause.
Thank you. No, because for real though, I'm sitting here thinking like when I saw that, I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. Anyone have a response to that?
Okay, can we actually get into the 21st? Just because I feel like that's going to take a while.
I mean, can we do that?
I want to know.
If somebody has, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Ricky looked like she wanted to say something about the rant.
Oh well, so I hadn't heard all of what you saw. The one that I saw that kind of kickstarted it was somebody. It was a thread about the vaccine, because the vaccine is being distributed. Mm-hmm. And the whole big idea don't get the vaccine because they're gonna put a microchip in you, when it's like you're walking around with a giant GPS system in your hand everywhere you go. But so they're just like, why don't you want to get the vaccine? And this one girl is like, well, they're trying to keep us average, and on the 21st you're gonna unlock something, or we're gonna unlock something in their DNA that is that we always thought was fiction. And so I don't know how, but Black Twitter just ran with it, and it's so cool, it's so funny, it's the funniest thing. I know it's
now they've tied the vaccine to it, where just
right, but it's whatever, it's those
which is crazy.
Conspiracy theories. Yeah, but it's those conspiracy theories that we just kind of ran with and made it hilarious.
No, y'all, we sprinted with it.
To be honest, the one that's for today even is kind of its own little conspiracy theory that I feel like we've kind of taken and run with, because it is supposed to be a big thing for today. It's first day of Yuletide. It's the winter solstice. It's the Great Conjunction. It's all these things, So it's we're like, oh, this is kind of technically a big day, and we're gonna just take it, and we attach something kind of silly to it, and then we've ran with it, and now everyone's like, kind of technically a big day, and we're gonna just take it.
Ooh.
But right, somebody did. But my question is, where are all the superpowers? Damn it! If there are going to be any, then there should be some. If there's not any, then I don't want to hear about it. Right?
Okay, somebody actually listen. Let me actually respond to that. If anybody actually turned up with powers, you better keep that shit to yourself. You're gonna end up in a lab real quick. You better keep that shit to yourself. You better get a identity. You better find a billionaire buddy or something, but you keep that shit to yourself.
Right.
Definitely don't tell Duryea. Duryea sounds like.
Oh, you can tell me. Because let me tell you
river.
something about it. Let me tell you something about it. You can tell me because I ain't gonna tell not one motherfucking person. Because then if they know I know, I'm in trouble too. So look, I'll keep that secret for you. Tell
what
me.
would be your superpower if you ascended?
That's a great conversation.
Rated higher.
Yeah.
What superpower that would unlock?
Well, let's start with Chris and Julian because y'all get an in and out, and then we're gonna discuss in depth.
All right, it's flight. It's got to be flight.
Flight, Julian.
Mine would definitely be some kind of like mind control, telepathy, some sort of like telepathy. It would have to be. Yeah.
All right, members of the diaspora. Who want to go first?
I'll go first. So, like, my thing when I've been talking about it for today is I want to be like Garnet from Steven Universe. I said I woke up with a headache this morning. I tweeted about it. I said, like, I woke up with a headache this morning. It was my third eye opening. And I had a picture of Garnet. Glasses down.
Third eye.
Showed her 3 eyes. I said, this is it. Like, I'm going to be Garnet.
I feel you. I would probably want some, like, Nightcrawler, like Kitty Pryde type power where I could, like, phase or poof from one place to another without having to know the exact, like, where everything is. That's the thing that always kills me.
What's your limit?
The limit is none. I have none. Okay, I'm pooping for life.
Even Superman got kryptonite.
That's Superman. We're talking about me.
Okay, my superpower. Okay, so since we limitless, because I always feel like I have to choose between these two. I want to be Storm and Jean Grey's baby.
Okay.
You want to be a weather witch and a telekinetic and a telepathic?
I want to read your mind. Yeah. Then, if I don't like what the fuck I find, I'm gonna zap your ass.
I strike you down with lightning.
But I'm gonna zap your ass on the low. I'm gonna be sitting like this, and I'm not gonna do it on my hand just from the sky. All of a sudden, kapow!
Well, you're the only weather witch in the range, so they're gonna know it's you. It's not like
that's why I want 2 powers. That's why I want 2 powers. What I'm gonna tell everybody, I'm gonna show everybody my telepathic abilities. Oh, he's a telepath, but for some reason when he around, motherfuckers be getting struck with lightning all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, I don't know. Are you sure you don't know what's going on, Duryea? Because last time, dude was talking shit about your mama, and then all of a sudden, he got struck by lightning. Won't he do it? That's what I'm going to say. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Ooh, man.
I don't want to do it.
But for me, I think the reason I want to, first of all, Storm to me is Black superhero royalty on so many levels. So many levels.
Okay.
The fact that she's one of the few like they didn't write her as like this crippled ass character, you know what I'm saying? Who was always dependent on the team. She led the team. You know what I'm saying?
She was one of the Nos bitches.
She led kingdoms, and she led the Moors after beating Callisto's ass, hand to hand combat. You know what I'm saying? Storm to me is everything you would want a superhero to be, except in the movies.
Oh, okay. Where's this going?
In the movies, I still have this issue with like the first X-Men. Like, I'm so glad that it was what it was and it did what it did. Because if it wasn't for the first X-Men, we wouldn't have got any of the other superhero movies that we love for nowadays. However, you telling me a Toad can come out of nowhere and beat one of the most deadly hand-to-hand combatants in the MCU?
But she never fights in the movies.
That's the
she never fights.
She kind of fought. What's her name?
Brings the hell, brings the rain, or somebody.
She fought that one girl in X3. The girl who could move real fast.
You asking me to reach deep in my memory and remember X3. God.
X3. That was in X3.
That the one where Jean Grey turned into the Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay. The first time?
Uh-huh. I know. I wish we could give.
What powers did this girl have? She was just fast.
She could move really fast, and she could detect. And she could detect how powerful mutants were.
Yeah.
I think I remember that aspect of her more than the speed.
Yeah.
Because what happened was Halle Berry. So this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Halle Berry and Wolverine outside the house. Professor X went in the house with Magneto. So they staring off the Juggernaut, Calypso, and the other 2 random mutants. One was Quill. And then shit started going on in the house. So Wolverine decided to go in the house. Storm, one of the most badass things she's ever done in those movies. She fucking lifts up off the air, flies up off the air, and then turns herself into a tornado. And while she's spitting, zap motherfuckers on the way down, and then blast Calypso. But then that was the end of the action.
Hands, That's not fighting.
Yeah, but then then the girl comes up to her. She didn't really fight her. She just got her ass kicked because the girl kept running.
That's they fought.
Listen, even if you get your ass kicked, that's a fight.
Fighting with hands. Battling with powers is different.
The other girl, what she did was she was running around real fast and would punch her in the face, punch her in the face, punch her in the face. And Halle Berry never got a lick in, but she definitely got her ass kicked.
Never got a lick in.
Not one.
Is she Hispanic?
Yeah.
I kind of remember her face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was on Heroes.
Other things. She was in She Hate Me.
Yeah.
Yes, she was Kerry Washington's girlfriend, lover, whatever, wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So we're about to do what we're geeking out about, but before we do that, let's go to a short ad break.
We are counting down the days to closing out the beautiful Frasier. And one of the things that I really love about our projects, because we named them, we built character, they're almost like your little baby, and you're ready to present it to the world. And one of the things where you look at the little details, and then we start to nitpick, and then before you know it, a few weeks turns into a few months, and before you know it, your project is prolonged more than you thought, just for the little details. But one of the things you have to do is just breathe, relax, and trust the process. Know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And as long as you stay in committed action each day, you will ultimately get to completion. These things and more, we help investors get their start in real estate investing. So contact us, visit us at it'sjessicamyers.com to learn how you can get your start today.
All right, that was jessicamyers.com. You can go to it'sjessicamyers.com to find out about real estate investment. She's an incredibly resourceful young lady doing big things, making big moves. All right, so let's do what are you geeking out about? This is a section, if you're new to the show, where we go around and we talk about anything that we're excited about in pop culture, geek culture, anything like that. If you're at home in the comments, please, if there's something that you're geeking out about, let us know. We may very well discuss it. All right, so let's start with our guest. Once again, let's start with Alex.
I'm geeking out about anime. The winter lineups have started coming out for different animes, so I'm excited for like Attack on Titan's final season. I'm excited for The Promised Neverland season 2. So there's just a bunch of shows that I'm getting ready for. Cells at Work season 2. I like it all. Dr. Stone season 2. I'm just like, I can't wait to see things happen to people I like. I'm just on an anime trip right now. That's what I'm watching more than anything else.
Why anime?
Why not?
No, I mean, see, I don't even get it.
You came at me so aggressively about why.
I didn't. I'm just saying. I don't feel like that was aggressive at all.
It was. But what's wrong with anime? Just because you haven't found. Do you like anime, Duryea?
I do. Okay. I don't like certain. To me, I've never gotten into many animes, but it's not because I don't like them. Okay. It's just that like the anime that I got into, I really loved it, and so when I started anime and it doesn't give me that same feel, I just kind of
fall to the wayside.
And I haven't seen another anime that is anything like Inuyasha.
I mean, anime is different. Like there's so many different ones, so you're not gonna get the exact thing.
Right, but to me, like when I look at like Bleach, don't come for me, Garrett. It is so funny. Look, Alex. Thank you, Garrett. Alex, look. Remember that conversation we had at the beginning about exes, and then he gonna pop up.
Garrett's my friend. Garrett is my friend.
And y'all always teaming up on me. I can't stand y'all.
There's no team up. There's just facts, and you happen to be on the opposite side of them.
Okay.
Ooh, Chris's friend.
Okay, but to me, anime, if it doesn't give me that vibe, then I just tone out. But I do like Pokemon.
Okay. It is. To some people.
It is. Is there anything?
A good story.
You like it? What?
So they have to have a good story. Pokemon don't have no story except for capturing wild animals and enslaving them. Like I don't.
Yeah. Chicken fighting and dog fighting, pretty much.
Like Pokemon is all about animal cruelty. Like
It really is. Wait,
I know, right?
have we ever run across any Pokemon who are like in the wild and they're naturally fighting each other, or is it always when it's at a tournament?
They get aggressive, from what I remember, if you come up on them in their territories.
Right.
But they're not aggressive towards each other. I don't remember out in the wild. But like you step in a like little area and then it's like boom, it's on. So,
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, I don't.
Is there anything else you're geeking out about?
Outside of anime, I guess this falls into the reboot category though.
Okay.
I am excited about Coming to America 2.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's not a reboot. That's a sequel.
Well, sequel. Okay, whatever.
That's a
Yeah,
sequel.
but I am excited for that to come out. I'm excited to see Tiana Taylor's in it, so I want to.
Yeah, I'm feeling her. I heard a version. She redid. You know, my favorite girl group from the '90s was Black.
I did not know that.
And she, who's the bad friend now? Alex.
What's my favorite girl group from the '90s?
Oh,
It's
So you don't know.
It's Destiny's Child.
It's not.
It's not Destiny's
702.
Child. No,
Nah.
it's not 702. If it's
No.
not Destiny's Child, it's TLC.
Who?
TLC.
Oh, TLC. No, they weren't it either. But thanks for playing.
Really? Okay. Okay. Whatever. So we don't know each other's favorite girl groups. Our
It was
friendship is null and void.
SWV.
Mine
Thank
was
you.
Destiny's
Come on, Chris.
Child.
Get it together. Chris knew.
Mine was
Whatever.
Destiny's Child though.
Destiny's
Don't
Child was
worry.
great in the '90s. I'm not taking away from them. But my
They were
favorite
greater.
group was
They were greater in
SWV.
the 2000s though. SWV in the 90s was
That was it.
Lit.
They were pretty solid.
Them
Okay.
nails. In that one video, them nails.
Oh,
which
Yes.
are back now.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Everything come back
Yeah,
around.
those are coming back. Well, you know, they always do.
Okay. So yeah, Tiana Taylor she remade technically 808.
Okay.
And I heard it and I was like, that's really dope.
What?
Was it a good remake?
Excuse
I liked it. She didn't remake, she used the chorus and
Okay.
did her
Oh,
own thing with it.
Oh,
It
she
was-
sampled it. She sampled 808.
She did. It wasn't a sample because a sample is the actual track in the background doing, but she was singing.
You know what song it was?
I'm pretty sure if you type in Tiana Taylor 808, you'll find it.
I'm doing that
I don't know.
right now.
Was it on her latest project?
Stop her.
It was on a playlist. You know how you-
Boomin' featuring Missy Elliott.
Mm.
maybe.
Oh,
It was on. You know how sometimes you be shuffling and then
Okay.
stuff pop up and you like, oh,
Got
that's a
you.
good song, but you
I
don't
feel you.
go check
I
it
did
out.
that today. Yeah, I was listening to Chica, and it was like all these extra songs came up, but I was like,
Shuffling makes me want to get a Siri or Alexa, so I can just be like, who this woman? All right. Is there anything else you're geeking out about, Alex?
I'm geeking out for the fact that 2021 is right here. It's about to be happening, so we can finally move out of 2020, put it all behind us. I'm gonna pretend like it never happened. That's just me. But
Some
yeah,
amazing things have happened this year, though.
that's true. I started a podcast in 2020, so
Oh, me too. You know,
Ow.
it's interesting because 2020, I think it's all about perspective. I think
Okay.
you could be actually really happy for 2020 because it exposed a lot of things that we needed to have exposed in order for us to learn and then work on them. I think it also, in a lot of ways, exposed a lot of the people that we didn't think we could depend on that we could. This is a talk it out thing, but something happened with SCOTUS this week, or SCOTUS, whatever you want to say. And it actually made me very, the Supreme Court. It actually made me very happy, but then it might not. So I'll talk about that another time. But anyway,
Okay.
we won't talk about politics on this.
We don't talk about politics on the show.
No,
I got chewed out.
You did? Oh, by somebody else. Okay. I thought somebody- yeah. Okay, so Chris.
Yeah,
speaking
by
of
another
which,
person.
what are you geeking out about?
Me? Okay. So a few things. So I watched The Prom on Netflix.
Yes.
I just watched it. Yes.
Was it good?
Yes.
Good.
With those two black characters?
I did like it though. I did enjoy it. I thought like it was Meryl Streep's best musical work because I don't particularly enjoy super enjoy Meryl Streep in a musical. Like, I mean, it's okay. It's like, it's fine. But I've never been like Meryl Streep's got like Patti LuPone's voice or anything. Like, that's never what I've thought. But this one,
Those Mamma Mia fans are gonna come after you now.
Hello?
Chris.
What about Into the Woods?
You better be
I
careful about the
hate
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. I hate Mamma Mia.
Do you really?
Into the Woods is tolerable with Meryl Streep, but like Mamma Mia, oh God, I can't. I just can't.
I like ABBA.
I can. I love ABBA. I love ABBA.
It's like the songs are great. But...
That's probably why you don't like Mamma Mia.
And therefore, if we're being honest. Now throw on like the original Broadway soundtrack of Mamma Mia, and it's a little bit different. But I just didn't, whatever. That's a different topic. But the prom was good. I'm probably gonna watch it like several more times, and probably try to learn all the choreography. And I love Ryan Murphy. I know he's problematic sometimes, but like I love Ryan Murphy.
How is he problematic?
Isn't he just like super dramatic?
There's been some issues, like some concerns with like casting for certain things,
Casting,
What
right.
are you talking about?
But there was like concerns with what's his name? He has the late night show, the British guy,
James Corden.
James
Oh, because
Corden,
he's not actually gay?
Yeah.
I heard about that.
And like a lot of people are like not very impressed with his acting anyway. So
y'all thought he could act.
So like, like that was one issue that I heard about with prom in particular.
Right. Yeah. His accent was not my favorite. I didn't really like his character that much at all, but the overall premise and the production I did enjoy.
Here's my thing, because so if anyone at home doesn't know what we're talking about, so the issue was people feel like gay characters should be played by gay actors as well as trans, and the rebuttal to that is straight people who feel like saying, well, if that's the case, straight people should be the only ones that play straight people. No. Okay. Well, the issue is this: like, you have to think about the need. Do you understand why people are saying that gay people should be only playing gay? What they're saying is gay actors don't get work. When openly gay actors don't get work, because a lot of times they don't want to put an openly gay actor in a part that's like a heartthrob because women won't connect or whatever. That's not true. But I don't think it's true either. But so it's harder for gay actors to get work playing anything other than gay. So for a straight actor to be put in a gay or trans role, it seems like you're taking opportunities away from gay people.
Because they already have less representation.
They are.
Right.
Equal roles for gay and straight people. It's like, I mean, the gay roles are very few and far between. So it's like, especially the good ones.
But to me, like, I get the point, but I think it's, and I don't know if I'm saying this, if I should say this at all, but so excuse me if I upset anybody. I think it's more important for trans people than it is for gay people, because I feel like trans people, first of all, they're not even writing enough trans roles. I'm saying they're not even writing roles about trans people. So trans people to get that opportunity is already rare. So then when you have a trans person, like I've only known of one trans person who played their identified gender without them being like, it wasn't in the script that they were trans. In the script, they were, their identified gender. And that I don't think that happens at all. So for me, I get people bugging out about James Corden. It didn't bother me as much because I do see gay actors getting like Neil Patrick Harris. And
I think one of the other biggest problems is that like a lot of times straight actors will get these awards and all these accolades for playing the gay role. But meanwhile, like, you know what I mean? It's funny because that's the only time that the gay role ever gets that kind of recognition is when a straight person is playing it, and it's
the trans role.
They played it so well, and so then now they get all these things. But it's like, what about those trans people who, first of all, might actually be acting and we don't even know it? Second of all, the ones that act well that we give no recognition to, and then it's just that we give all that extra focus to the straight people when they're taking the gay roles, but you know what I mean. But like we don't give any of those gay roles to any actual gay people.
And you're missing some of that nuance, that lived experience that you could apply to those roles.
Yeah.
That exactly you don't necessarily get. So I mean, But
here again, here's where I can also forgive Ryan Murphy for the James Corden, because Ryan Murphy has done a lot for trans roles, a lot for
Pose,
a lot for gay. I mean, like
gay and trans people.
He has done so much. So, like, you know, having one.
I thought he was gay. I'm sorry, I didn't realize he wasn't gay. Yeah, I didn't realize he wasn't gay until.
I don't think he realized he wasn't gay.
Like when I heard the rumor, not the rumor, when I heard people were upset about him playing the part, I was like, oh, he's straight. Oh, okay. I did not know he was straight. You know who else I didn't know was straight? Darren Criss.
Who?
Yeah, right.
I did not know he was straight.
Yeah, really? I forgot he was straight. I forgot.
Shut up. He got a whole fiance.
Who's Darren Criss?
His fine ass.
Bad shame.
He's on Glee, right?
His fine ass.
Yeah,
oh my God, I was so mad.
Was that Blaine from Glee?
Yeah, he was promoting that the Versace movie, right? He was on Good Morning America. Here I am thinking all my dirty thoughts, like watching him on Good Morning America. He goes,
I mean,
and then the
still
host
think
goes,
dirty thoughts.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
my wife
I feel good. Yeah, and then
what?
The host goes, oh yeah, and I heard congratulations are in order. Heard you got engaged. So first of all, that was a shock. I was like, oh no, he's off the market. Then, so I got a double whammy. I know. And then after I was like, oh no, not engaged. Then she goes, yeah, and then he's like, yeah, me and my girlfriend. I said, oh no. So I was very upset. I couldn't breathe. I don't know what
it was that slicked hair, I think, because it was so well coiffed.
Bro, no, he
came
came off as gay to me, like not in a bad way.
I didn't read gay, but he was not gay. You can't still have a crush on him.
He could be.
I don't like having crush on straight niggas no more.
Hello, it's a spectrum.
He could be on the spectrum somewhere.
You said what?
I don't like having crushes on straight people no more.
Why?
They be doing the motherfucking most, bro.
I have a crush on the man from Noah's Ark. I know he don't want me though.
That's a talk it out topic. That's a talk it out topic.
What is that? That's a talk it out topic. This is LGBTQ friendly nerd love and life.
No, because we're talking about what we're geeking out about. We completely derailed from what we're trying to do.
I made it through one.
That's very true.
Wait, hold up, Chris. That's basically the name of this show. Derailment. So calm down and quit acting unprofessional and chaotic in front of all these people.
Tangent 1, Tangent 2, Tangent 3. All right, fine. All right. The second thing that I've been geeking out about lately is there is a new, well, it's not, I guess new, it's just new to me. I just found another special by this comedy duo named Flo and Joan, who I'm obsessed with. They're British sisters, if any of you know them. They do like musical comedy, so songs, but they're funny and I love them. So they have a new special, or like I said, it's new to me. It was from last year, but it's on Amazon Prime. And there's also, the reason I found out about it is because there's an album on Spotify now under their name, and that's how I found it. Was like bleep, bleep, bleep. So I'm obsessed with them, obsessed with that. And then this happens every time of year this happens every year this time of the year. It's that I am obsessed with this one like a cappella group and their Christmas music, and then it just like reignites my love for them, and then I have to go on like deep dives for
talking about Pentatonics.
Please be talking about Pentatonics.
Well, I mean Pentatonics. I love the Pentatonics. Love them.
Yeah, I do love them
in particular. For the last few years has been just like my Christmas go-to. It's Voctave. Their first soprano. Voctave, Voctave. Their first soprano is so thrilling to my heart. Literally, she does things and like almost every song that make me almost leap out of my skin because it's thrilling. It's like you're hearing someone.
You better enjoy it.
Yes,
crazy.
Let it speak
crazy,
to your soul.
But also everyone in that group is crazy amazingly good, but their first soprano in particular, crazy.
Are we really gonna sit here and let him come up with a whole new language?
It's like Trazen. I like
it. I do want to put out a shout out. If y'all know I love Jennifer Hudson. If y'all haven't heard some of her Christmas music, it is amazing. She performed with Pentatonics, and she did "How Great Thou Art." That to me is her best live performance ever. Period. It is amazing.
She is one of the most truly amazing vocalists I've ever heard. I can't stand her because I love
Me
her.
neither. Oh, damn.
Alex, only reason Alex can't stand her is because I like her. Alex is that friend who feels like she always got to keep my ego low. She's like, I'll never let your head get big, nigga, ever.
It's already big. I can't do anything about that.
My head ain't big. What are you talking about?
The hairline is all the way back here. It's
Woo!
big. Okay.
Woo!
Oh wow, really?
Woo!
My hairline
Man.
is the same place it's been my whole life.
Yikes!
I know, right?
That's
I'm not gonna
crazy.
drag you in front of all these people.
You can't drag me. I'm
I can drag you. I can drag you. I'm not gonna drag you. Speaking of which, because that just made me think about my what I'm geeking out about. So let me hurry up.
Go.
Get to these so I can get to mine. No, I'm going last.
Right.
You know, the host always go last. Do you have anything else you're geeking out about, Chris? Okay, let's go to Rakia. What are you geeking out about?
Okay, so I am still geeking out about HBO Max right now. That I got my account like a couple weeks ago, and what did I watch? I watched all the things. So like I'm watching Doom Patrol.
All the things.
All the things, and like what's cool is that because it's connected with Warner Brothers. So like if you guys heard the news, like when their new movies come out for Warner Brothers, they're gonna just also like drop them onto HBO Max as well as release them in theaters. So my ass doesn't have to go anywhere. I can stay home. Which sounds real lovely. But like it also has like all the DC animated movies that are actually like seem to be a lot better than the live action ones.
They are.
They don't got no budget.
Look, but they're
You
so
think
much
that's what
better.
it is?
Yeah, because you don't have to pay for half the stuff.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I started watching like Batwoman. It's not bad. It's not
And
bad.
I like Ruby Rose. Boo.
Oh, she's not on there no more.
She's
she's
not.
she's replaced now.
Mhm.
No, she quit.
Because
Oh.
it's bad.
I think she. Let me be honest, and I hate to say it. I hate to be this dude. I don't really like her. I feel like she did it so she could have that title of I'm the first like LGBTQ person, and then and when she got that title, she was like,
Okay.
all right, on to the
There's
next.
nothing wrong with that.
That to me is, I feel like you're not. I feel like that's for the wrong reasons because it's about you. It's not about the community. It's about you.
Right. But also it's the CW. So yeah.
And the CW put a black woman in that part.
Well, they already had black lighting, so we knew they were like diversifying.
Which is no longer going to be after the season. This is the last season.
But is black
needed to
lighting's
go.
ratings good?
No.
But like what ratings are really good on CW?
Now for the CW, ratings, that's the bad thing. For the CW, your ratings don't have to be like
They
don't
don't
that.
have to be
So
bad.
if you're
They
not
have
getting
to
good
be.
enough ratings to stay on the air in CW, you're a struggle bus. Struggle
But
bus.
like four seasons is pretty good. I feel like
It's a decent run. It's a
Yeah.
lot more than some other shows get.
right. The whole black superhero family, and you got 4 seasons. You take some, you win some, you lose some. But like also, what I like is that there's some other like they're adding more of the not the CW, but more of like the Warner Brothers like market. So like Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. They added what's it called? Crunchyroll?
Yes, Crunchyroll.
Yeah, so like they're adding shows from that on
Because they bought it.
Yeah. So like if I wanted to get into anime, that would be the time to start.
Come to the dark side.
I might be honest with you. It's
It's good.
might be Christmas break. I got the time.
Watch it. Look, if you like Disney movies, you're gonna like animes. Come on.
I love
Come
Disney.
over.
Yes.
Come on. Start with Studio Ghibli and then work your way up.
I think it also has Studio Ghibli like as its own like category on there too.
Exactly. They're so good.
Yes. Also, last thing,
Disney.
I need to. I haven't watched it yet, but it just came out on Friday. Is Ma Rainey's?
Oh yeah, I need to watch that.
On Netflix. I need to watch
I need
that.
to watch
Let
that.
me actually, can I say something about that really quick? Just to
Go ahead.
clarify something. So a lot of people are confused. This is not at all a true story or a biographical film.
The
Oh, what's up there?
black like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Yeah, it's
Wait,
not
what film? Sorry.
it's a play.
Hey.
It's based off the play.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Right?
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is based off of a play that was written by Thomas Wilson. He uses a actual character, a non-fictional character in a fictional setting. The play only is about talking about the nature of the music industry at the time in which white people would use black people to get money, make money, ascend in the musical world, and then throw them to the side. So when you're going into it, do not expect that this is a biography. Ma Rainey absolutely 120,000% deserves a biography, but this is not that. Go ahead, Ricky.
No, that was it. But like, shout out to Columbus for Ma Rainey's hometown. So yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
All right, Julian, what's up with you? What you geeking out about?
Geeking out about. Okay, so there's a few things. All right. So we're also going to take.
You pulled out the book.
Hey, y'all are bringing me closer to what I'm geeking out about. Okay.
Okay. There's actually not that many. It's actually more just my list. Anyway, so first I'd like to do a quick moment of silence, respects for the original actor who played Boba Fett, the original person who wore the Boba Fett outfit in all them damn movies, died at 75. I think yesterday it was 2 days ago. Sad days. So is the actor himself. It's iconic. It's Boba fucking Fett, and they just they finished the Mandalorian. The second season just finished or whatever.
Talk about it.
I haven't even watched it. I haven't watched even the first one. I haven't seen any of it. I don't have Disney. I haven't gotten Disney Plus because Disney owns everything. I'm like, oh, do I really need to throw them more money?
You find somebody with a login.
Exactly. I'm gonna pirate that bitch somewhere else. So just give me some time and I'll find it. But the point is, I haven't seen it yet. So the second series season just finished and stuff. They're doing a whole spinoff. I think they're gonna do a whole backstory of Boba Fett and stuff. So it's
cool.
Yeah, it's a little Boba Fett moment that the Star Wars universe is having because he passed away, and it's a big iconic thing. Cool. And Boba Fett is iconic, and to be honest, he was introduced in the Star Wars Christmas special before they actually introduced him into the franchise, and he did so well in the Christmas special, even though the Christmas special itself was trash and nobody liked it. You know what I mean? It's a Star Wars Star Wars fans know it, they've seen it, but they know that it's terrible. But so they've all seen it once because it's it's part of the you have to you're not a fan unless you've seen it. Right. One of those things. So you watch it, but it's it's so bad. But Boba Fett was apparently he was introduced there, and then he got introduced into the whole franchise afterwards because he was so popular and stuff. So it was nice. Other things I'm geeking out about. League of Legends is doing an MMO. I'm so excited. Okay, so League of Legends is an arena and MOBA game. It's an arena based lane battle kind of thing. You get the armies fight each other. Yeah, it's so good. Whatever, man. I love games like that. And I remember when it was free back in the day, 2, 3, 4 years ago, but it's so popular now. It's it's crazy now. But they're doing an MMO, so that's gonna be nice. They're gonna do a whole RPG out of it, so that's
okay,
cool stuff.
Cool. Maybe I'll play. We can play together, Julian.
Yeah, man, I'm down. I've been trying to stay away from certain MMOs because they take a lot of time. So Genshin Impact is a big one for these days, and everyone's playing it, and I'm like, Julian, I'm itching for it, and I'm just but don't do it, don't download it, because if I do forget it, there goes all my time. So I'm trying to stay away from them, but they're all nice news. Also in the video game world, Super Smash did their whole little reveal, and one of their Christmas gift character to everybody is fucking Sephiroth. And of course one of the skins is the one wing Sephiroth with no shirt on, and he's looking all boxed and hot and stuff, and you're just who's this man with all this long silver hair?
Who this man?
Who this man? I
know who it is.
And that long ass sword. Yes,
who it is?
Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm excited. That one's a nice little add-on too. Even though I don't really play Super Smash Brothers as much, I did get around to playing it recently. Kind of. I haven't played it in a while, and I was kicking ass. I was really excited about it. I was my skills are still there. I'm happy for it. So
I used to love Super Smash Brothers.
The original was my shit. That I still hands down is probably my favorite. Is there it's gotten better over time, but the original is it's really great.
I don't know. I tried to play it recently, and all I could do was die.
Oh no! Well, who's your character of choice?
All I could do was die.
Who's your character of choice, Chris?
I like Kirby.
You died with Kirby? You died with Kirby? Kirby's got like 12
Like the one that
extra
can do the
jumps.
body slam?
Right. He's got like 12 extra jumps and he's like, you know, he's invincible practically.
I know.
No,
Like,
it's okay.
Uh,
Oh,
I lost
Chris.
my touch.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We just need to practice a little more or something like that. But okay, so other things, really quick, because I guess we're gonna try to move them along quick. Oh, Harley Quinn and Ivy get married finally.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They did get married.
The whole thing, yeah, you know, because you know, like in the
That response.
yeah, certain parts of the DC universe, you know, they've kind of had this like
On again, off again
relationship, love interest thing and stuff, and so like finally they kind of come together and they do the thing. So that's nice. Hey, their things are unfolding, but you know, it's obviously it's like it's a sign of the times. Things are changing. You know,
hooray for healthier relationships. Than the
yeah. And to be honest, they really do have like one of the healthiest relationships, even though they're like both villains, and you know, and the whole thing. Like, but their relationship is probably one of the healthiest ones we've seen ever, which is the craziest thing. But you know what? If Poison Ivy was my girlfriend, I too would have the healthiest relationship because I'd be like, yes, let's destroy everybody for the planet. I'm for that. Well, not everyone, but you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean because Poison Ivy's pretty much black and white about that. People can go. Everybody goes.
I'm just saying that Poison Ivy is my girl. I do love her, so I'm really happy about that. And then I had one last one.
Yes, wait, hold up. Yes, we absolutely want Ivy's ass tied down because if she's fucking and happy, then she won't be trying to kill everybody. So yes,
I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think her being happy or unhappy had anything to do with her.
The world if you're on your honeymoon.
Anything to do with why she was trying to end the world.
I'm saying she would be preoccupied with her love life.
First of all, Dr. Harleen Quinzel is crazy. So how is she occupying anyone's time? She's trying to get her own stuff together. This is barely holding on.
No, because she's really low-key going to be the one that's going to end.
Not the whole name, though.
That's my bitch.
Not Dr. Harleen Quinzel.
Hello?
He said the whole name, right?
See, I love her. Crazy hyenas, giant mallet, and all. But she is not all the way there. And you can try to have her be the rock for somebody else. No.
I just feel like both of them will be too busy, you know, getting busy. And they would be, you know, not killing everybody. It would give us at least a month.
Maybe.
At least,
maybe. It would at least buy us a month of some peace.
Some peace.
Right. But then when they come back like hell. You're right about that.
Yeah. Now they're a complete duo. Okay, wait. There was one more thing, really fast.
Okay, go ahead.
The last one was just a great conjunction. So the great conjunction. The whole thing with that is that it happens to fall on today, the 21st, which also happens to be the winter solstice, which it's like a few things all at once, which is why it's a big thing. But it happens to be a natural occurrence that like happens once every 20 years. But the last time the Saturn, so basically what it is that the alignment of of Jupiter and Saturn to the blind naked eye is close. You know what I mean? They're not actually close to each other, but you know, the line of sight puts them.
They look like one planet.
Yeah, and they're like only like a 1 degree apart or some bullshit. Like it's technically the
in alignment.
In alignment. In alignment, they're also the closest they have ever been. So this is not only like the great conjunction of this year, but it's like the greatest conjunction we've had thus far. The only time they've been even close to this close was like in 1620, something like that. 1620, something like that. So it's been like 400 years since the last time they've even been this close. And now they're the closest they have been. So it's supposed to be like this whole thing. And it is supposed to be a big thing because it's like, you know, planets in alignment, they create magnetic force and stuff like that. So that's supposed to be like the whole thing. And then it's also supposed to be like moving where I think we're supposed to be ending Aquarius, the era of Aquarius,
the age of Aquarius,
something like that. So then
this is the ending of the age.
All right. Is that the last thing you're geeking out about, Julie?
Yeah, man.
Thank you. God damn.
Light your damn candles.
I thought you was done.
Light them.
Light your damn candles is all I'm trying to say. All right.
So great. What I'm geeking out about, I have a few things as well. Thanks, Julie. First of all, let's start with this. What I'm geeking about is Monique Samuel's binder. If you know, you know. If you don't know, please get to know about it. So the Real Housewives of Potomac basically is what I'm geeking out about. I finally binged the season, and it's so juicy. Okay, so I actually am Team Monique. This is why. I'm not a proponent of violence, but anybody who knows anything about Black people, but specifically Black people, the last thing you do is walk up to their face and do some shit like that while you're arguing with them. If as soon as that hand goes that close to the face, and to me, that is threatening to anybody if you're close to them. So the way the fight happened was they were actually like about 10 feet apart. Monique was standing on one side of the table. Candace walked over to her while they were arguing and did her hand like this. Next thing you know, Candace had her face on the table and Monique was beating her in the face. Now, this is my thing about it. Then later, Candace, the one who walked over to the girl, pressed charges.
It's like,
and for the rest of the season, she cried in every interview about how traumatized she was. Yet at the reunion, which is when the binder showed up, she's talking mad shit across the room. And I'm just like, bro, you can't talk about how you were victimized by this woman. And now when she's in the same room as you, you got all this heat, all this smoke because y'all are distance apart. You don't look like, I don't feel like it's fair for people to do that kind of stuff, for people to incite a fight. And then once they get the fight, try to act like they didn't start it and then act like the villain. So at the reunion, Monique brought this binder full of receipts. I'm spoiling it for the first part for somebody. So this one lady who's been basically bad-mouthing Monique the whole season, Monique has a list of text messages to her husband's phone. And then she was like, I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true. Then Monique read the number off that's on the paper. And then they turned to Giselle and was like, is that actually his phone number? And she goes, yeah. And then that was the end of the episode. So to me, I feel like, look, so I'm here for her binder because to me, a good receipt, you can't dispute a good receipt. You can't dispute it. If I'm sitting there and I got proof in your face, hard copy proof, if it ain't on paper, it ain't real. Okay. So y'all watch who y'all start fights with.
Yes, Chris.
Yes. Have your binder. Right. And that's exactly how she looked going through the binder. That's how she looked. She said, I got tabs for everybody. She said,
I have a question for the panel. Does anyone on the panel have a book and or album of receipts? Anything of the sort?
No, because none of us are on a reality TV show where it's important to have receipts.
Well, no,
I have
actually
screenshots. Yeah, I got screenshots.
Thank you. We all have a receipt of a sort. I have an album filled with receipts.
You have an album full of receipts?
It's not like that. It's not a very big album, but like whatever. I put it as an album so they're easy access because they're
like but like you can see if your phone, like on my phone, like you can like hide those albums.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really? What kind of drama are y'all in where y'all need out? I know about your drama. Julian, what kind of drama you in? Where you need receipts?
I'm not talking about it here.
You brought it up.
Maybe somewhere. I was just wondering. Oh God, all I asked was about receipts. I didn't ask about what's in them.
Listen, I don't know nothing about receipts. I don't know what you're talking about.
You only reveal what's in the receipt book when you're ready to make your return.
Right. It's so funny because when Monique, this is what happened. Monique went for the book.
When you're ready to give him back. Sorry.
Monique went for the binder and sat back, and then she did this.
And when you do
that, bow.
Because I gotta catch all these pages.
Right. The girl was like, the girl across the street, she been waiting to cash these receipts. And Monique was like, absolutely. And I'm about to cash every one of these receipts. So look, when the crazy thing about it is, so there was this storyline about this one girl and her husband, and it was revealed that her and her husband have had threesomes with other women. And so when it was revealed to the group, everybody was like surprised. And then with this whole fight issue that happened, the girl's name is Ashley. The whole fight issue happened, and
that makes complete sense. I haven't gotten that far, but yeah.
Let me. So the fight with Ashley, when the fight happened between Candy and Monique, Ashley took Monique's side. She's like the only person that did. And when pressed on why, she was like, "Look, I can't really get into it, but Monique has been a real good friend to me." And it was finally revealed that Monique knew the whole time that her and her husband had this type of relationship and never told nobody. So then y'all know how they cut to the cameras. They showed the scene where where Ashley told the whole group about her open marriage or whatever, and Monique was acting her ass off. She was like, "Yeah, we've had people in the bedroom," and Monique went, "What? They put a little thing on the screen with a arrow pointed to the face, going, acting like she didn't know." And then the producer was like, "Wait, so she knew the whole time?" She was like, "Yep, that's a good ass motherfucking friend." She without question, she just said, "What? Oh my god, that's a good friend." All right,
Yeah.
all right. So the next thing I'm geeking out about is Star-Lord. In the comics, they basically decided that Star-Lord is bisexual. Let's just let that marinate.
Right.
The Chris Pratt character?
Yes,
Guardian.
because apparently in the comics, Chris Pratt's character is now bisexual, pansexual.
Mhm.
And he's currently in a relationship with, I guess, a man or whatever.
I mean, I guess if Gamora never takes him back, then.
But Chris Pratt apparently is.
Well, good for her.
Chris Pratt is apparently part of the church.
Mhm.
Chris Pratt is apparently a part of a church that is anti-LGBTQ.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
said that was Marvel's way of tagging your ass, being like, "Oh, really? You want that check? Let's see what you're gonna do for that check, for that money."
And the thing is, like, that's been common knowledge for a couple of years now.
I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, it's gotten more interest due to like that one time where like it's like pick only one Chris, or which Chris has to go. You know, like you know those memes where like, okay, one of you's got to go. Okay,
Right.
and there's like 4 Chris's.
I always say.
Chris Steele,
Always.
yes. Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, Chris Evans, and like another Chris. I don't remember, but Chris Pratt always goes. Like, I'm sorry, Chris Pratt always goes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like when I found that out, I was just so disappointed. Like, look, I mean, I don't even have to explain. I was just so disappointed because I feel like, look, when you don't agree with somebody, no, not the character. When you disagree with somebody or their political ideologies, that's fine. When you take action against them, that's a different thing. So when you're like sending money to conversion therapy camps and all that kind of stuff, I can't fuck with you. Like, I have not eaten Chick-fil-A since I found that out. And they can say what they want to say about how they don't do that anymore. But I was like, look, I'm still good on y'all. Like, y'all ain't getting none of my good money. Last time I ate Chick-fil-A.
Yes, they do. They still do.
They do what?
They do still donate.
Of course they do.
They say that they're not anymore, but they've done it like a roundabout way.
Your values would have to change.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, it was an issue of your values as a company. Your values as a company, it was that, and I don't expect that changed. Maybe you want it to look like you changed, which is even worse to me. Because that means it's messed up, but you need that money and you care more about that money than your values. I'm gonna have more respect for you if you were like, I don't care how much money, these are my values, I'm sticking with it. But no. So, all right.
They've been sus.
So Chris Pratt is gonna have to deal with that. I hope they put it in the movies. I hope they put it.
That he's bi. Who is he even hooking up with?
Listen, for one. Let me tell you. Wait, let me say something real quick, Juliet.
I want somebody fine. It matters to me.
Let me say this real quick. With the MCU, if you looked into anything, this actually leads to my next comment. The post Endgame MCU is going to be totally like epic and far-reaching, and there's no more rules anymore. It's not like, oh, we're setting up this one relationship and this is going to be that relationship. No, it's not going to happen like that, because WandaVision is happening, then Doctor Strange is happening, and those two storylines, knowing those characters and their powers, are going to open up doors and doors and doors. I'm just
sad that Storm and T'Challa as a storyline is now gone.
I know.
That's what makes me sad.
It's gone for the moment, because this is how. Let me tell you why I think it's gone for the moment, and it may have another iteration.
Why? They're not recasting T'Challa.
Let me explain. So this brings me to my last thing that I'm geeking out about: the Spider-Man movies, which is going to feature 3 Spider-Men.
I'm not excited.
I'm excited. Because look, it's supposed to be the 3 Spider-Men, Doctor Strange, and Daredevil from Netflix are supposed to be in a movie together.
So why is there not 4?
Huh?
Why is there not 4?
Why is there not 4 Spider-Man? You said the Miles Morales.
Right.
Because they don't want no black Spider-Man yet. No, I think really what the issue is, I think the issue is that they haven't done anything but animate him, and they made a lot of money off of just that. So I don't think they want to cross that over yet, because then he would need to be animated. And that's too muddy. I actually am glad they didn't put him in there yet. I feel like
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew
Tom
Garfield.
Holland
Yeah.
and Andrew Garfield.
Wait,
Yeah.
they're literally putting all three of them in the same movie?
Yeah,
Because
Like,
but Doctor Strange
But
is in the
why?
movie too. I'm
Exactly.
trying to explain.
mayonnaise on
I've
mayonnaise
literally
on
been trying to
mayonnaise.
explain it. I've been trying to explain it.
What is the reasoning behind that?
I'm trying to. Am my mic muted?
No.
When you say yes, Alex, Julian, I'm trying to tell you why. I'm trying to tell your ass, golly. I'm trying to say
Extra
golly
mayo.
like I'm somebody's granddaddy. So, so essentially, they're bringing Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch at some point are going to be adversaries. So I think Scarlet Witch is at some point going to be a villain, which she's supposed to be anyway, but she's going to become a villain eventually.
Are they going to use the same Scarlet Witch that they've been using, or are they going to?
If I could talk, maybe I could let you know.
Ooh, somebody doesn't like to be interrupted. all of a sudden.
It's not that I don't like to be interrupted. It's 9:02. He's been here before. You have never been here before. He know what time it is. He know what time it's supposed to go off. Shit. Got me sounding like my mom up in here.
He already sound like her.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Spider-Verse.
Yes, and so the whole thing about it is the magic and the whole world of magic hasn't really been expounded upon, but it really talks about different universes, parallel universes. The Scarlet Witch comes up with a universe where no mutants exist or they don't have their powers or something like that. And basically WandaVision, the TV show, is I guess about, I didn't really find out what it's about because I just want to be surprised because I love that character. But I guess it's about like her creating other dimensions in which Vision is still alive. And so through that, somehow doors get open because it's not just the three Spider-Men. It's also like Jamie Foxx's Electro is coming back. The Green Goblin is coming back from the first one. It's going to be like all of them. House of M, yes. So because of that, and that to me I like because it then opens up so many doors. Like now we may find the X-Men have already been there or they come from a different dimension or something like that. So that's why I feel like T'Challa absolutely could come back as a different actor because now if there's three different dimensions with three different Spider-Men, there's also three different T'Challas and three different Storms. Yada, yada,
They already said they're not going to recast him.
They say a lot of shit and then they do it. That's Hollywood. They're not going to do it right now.
They haven't casted Storm correctly in the entire time that Storm has been live action. Name a good Storm.
This is my thing about it. I don't think it was. I think people blame the casting.
Going around the conversation.
And I don't think it was. I'm going to answer the question. Y'all two motherfuckers about to get muted real motherfucking quick. I'm about to say mute real quick. So what I'm saying is, I absolutely think Halle Berry was a great Storm. I think the issue was that they wrote her horribly. You can't act your way out of bad writing. You can't do it. They never gave Storm any fight scenes.
Right.
They barely gave Storm any lines. Storm didn't even have. Storm had like 3 lines in the first movie.
She can't act, so she doesn't need lines.
Her Academy Award is absolutely just
not for Storm.
But the thing you're saying that she can't act.
I said it.
But she has several acting awards.
You have like an Oscar means automatically.
That's a difference of opinion. That's a difference of opinion. I feel like she's a great actress, and you don't, and that's fine. However, you asked me
like
today.
Charmed. We know what you
I asked Charmed, but I didn't say Charmed deserves no awards. I like the show. This is why I don't deal with her sometimes because you're gonna get on the internet and just come for me. Only me. Only me. Only me. I'm the only person you come for this whole hour and a half, and I'm supposed to be on this
out here with this craziness.
It's not craziness. It's the fact that I have a difference of opinion than you, and you want to drag me through the fucking coals in front of everybody. At the end of the day, I feel like Halle Berry is a great actress. I feel like they didn't write her character well. She didn't get any fight scenes. She didn't get any dialogue. She didn't get any forceful. She wasn't written as Storm from the comics at all. So we blame the woman in the role when we know the truth of it is it's easy to blame her because she's the face of it. The truth of it is the niggas in the behind the scenes wrote her character as trash. They produced her character as trash. They produced her character to be subservient to a character like Wolverine.
You know they did her wrong when they gave her that wig and they didn't spend any money on a real motherfucking wig. That was it. That's how I knew.
A pluck.
That's how I knew that this just was not gonna go very well because I was like, they cast Halle Berry for this shit and they couldn't give her a better wig than that. Come on.
Yeah.
They were giving Storm no
Yeah.
justice.
From the opposite perspective, they have to work within their limitations too. If she's not delivering anything that's not deserving being on the cutting room floor, then that's not their fault either. They work with what they're working with. They cut her that check,
So,
they slapped her in that wig,
do
and
you
she
feel
delivered
like-
nothing. So she
Do you
got
feel
nothing.
like if Angela Bassett had those 6
Let's
lines,
not compare.
it would have
Let's not
been
compare.
somehow no, because we're blaming her for choices that she had no control over. Because
She's
Halle
proven
Berry,
herself to be a badass.
when Halle Berry was cast as Storm, she didn't have her Oscar yet, so she didn't have as much say in the room. She's also black and she's also a woman. So you really feel like this black woman walked into this all-white situation and had any say?
No, but I also don't feel like she can act. So
That's fine. That's where we defer in opinions, which is fine. I don't mind for us to defer, but I'm not going to discredit your opinion. It's just different. I'm just saying that to me, I feel like Storm could have been played. I feel like both of the actresses that played her did well with what they gave them.
No, I don't like children, and I didn't like Halle Berry. So
That's fine. She wasn't a child. She's like in her she was almost 30 when she played. Not Halle Berry. Alexandra Shipp was almost 30 when she played that role, and I think she did well.
And she played a child.
She said, "I don't like children."
She played an adult.
And I don't like Halle Berry.
Storm was definitely an adult.
She was already taking a walk on the wild side with the mohawk. She was already setting herself out from apart from Halle Berry.
These are
calm
choices.
down.
Why
Calm
do you
down.
feel like
calm
she had
down,
any control
calm
over
down.
her wig?
I didn't say she had control over her wig.
You said she was setting
she's
herself up.
already setting herself apart with the mohawk. So people were automatically going to differentiate between her and Halle Berry. However, I don't think she did enough, or she was showcased enough for her to be like, ooh, this is the iconic Storm. This is who I think of when I think of Storm. I just think it's happenstance. Halle Berry is just because she was the first one, not because she was a great actress and a great part. If anybody else had to play her, y'all would feel the same. You would feel the same way. If Angela Bassett had to play Halle Berry back then, you'd be like, ooh, Angela Bassett. If it had been Anika Noni Rose back then, you would be like, ooh,
Alex,
Anika Noni Rose.
you're the one. You're the ones. Yes, you're absolutely right. Because you're making my point. No matter who played her, I would know. Your point is that she's not good, but you just said whoever played her, I would have been upset.
Right.
Which means it had nothing to do with the acting. It had everything to do with the writing, which is my point. My point is anybody who played that part would not have been good because the part wasn't written well. You're saying that whoever.
I would just say it's a little bit of both. I would say because the writing was definitely not there for Storm. We all know that. I think we can all agree with that one for sure. As far as agreeing whether or not Halle Berry could do it, I think that's still up for opinions. Some people don't think she did a great job with that role. Other people think that she could have probably done better.
I agree with
the writing was better. But definitely, we can all agree that the writing could definitely have been better for Storm.
Yeah.
Either way,
and they don't give her enough justice in production.
Let's move on. So the last thing I'm geeking out about is the possible entrance of Jessica Jones and Daredevil into the MCU. There have actually been talks about that actually happening. Daredevil's supposed to be in the new Spider-Man movie somehow.
Are they not in the MCU?
Not anymore. They canceled the shows. They technically are in the MCUs, but because in those TV shows they reference stuff that happens in the MCUs, but the shows were canceled once everything from Disney was getting transferred to Disney Plus. Gotcha. So I guess I know for a fact that Luke Cage, they shut that down, that rumor. They're like, no, he's not coming back. Which is interesting because apparently his show is one of the most requested shows from Netflix. Like that is gone.
But he has a new show too.
Yeah, and I think it has to do with him having that new show than anything. But then again, not only does he have a new show, the girl who played Misty Knight has a new show. Yeah. So that's a lot. Even though I can't wait for her and Nicole Bahari to play sisters in a movie because they really
please and thank you.
All right, everybody, we're gonna move on from this. So before we come back, we're finally gonna talk about reboots. 20 minutes before we're supposed to end. But before that, we're going to take a small ad break. What am I going to show?
How long have you all been married? How long have we been married?
When this video posts, what
can wash away?
Anyway, pretty much 7 years, pretty much.
Nothing but the blood.
Here she goes again from the last video. Trying to get me to smell something. Who can make?
Sing, babe. Behold, I can. Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
Hey, Lord.
That was the Mompreneur Plug. We can find her on YouTube, youtube.com/c/Mompreneur Plug. And you can also find Rim Alternist, RPG, Shadowrun missions live every Tuesday. Tomorrow night, I will be present. I'm playing a Elven Mage, a Nocturna Mage, which means we have like dark purplish black fur all over our body. And it's my first RPG, so I'm learning as I go. It's entertaining. Yeah, it's my first one. So so they reached out to me. They were like, "You want to try this?" And I was like, "Sure, let's do it." All right. Tonight we're discussing the revenge of the reboots. We're discussing all the reboots, how we feel about them, yay, nay, go away. So let's start off. I'm gonna start it. So I personally like the reboots.
Which ones?
Right.
That's the thing. That part. Which ones? And it's funny because we talked about Charmed, and I actually like the Charmed reboot. I'm gonna start there. The reason I like Charmed, and everybody likes to drag, like, I'm an actor. I've been acting for a long time, and people are like, "How can you be an actor and like that show because the acting was bad, the writing was bad?" I know the acting was bad and the writing was bad. They do the writing was bad and the acting was bad. It still was what it was. It knew what it was, and it knew the people watching it and what we wanted, and it gave it to us time and time again. So it was one of those things that, like, because you look at a show like Smash, right? You hook people in with one thing. Well, yeah, when a show when a show thinks it can tweak to do something different and it loses its base, it doesn't last. So Smash, the second season, tried to do too much different from the first season, and so it didn't last. Charmed is the longest running television show with female leads. So we can talk about how bad it was, but it lasted longer than any other show with female leads. Only other show that lasted as long was Desperate Housewives, and they tied for that position. So I like the Charmed reboot because it doesn't try to do what the first one did. But at the same time, they could have maybe not used the charmedness and just done a show about black witches. However, well, not black, sorry, POC witches, because there's only one black person on screen ever, and she's incredibly light-skinned. No flex to light-skinned people, but it's just part of that colorism that exists. So to me, I love Charmed as the new Charmed reboot, essentially because it's very fun. It's decently acted. I don't think they're going to win any freaking awards, but the acting is pretty decent. The writing is great. I love the times when they use old Charmed storylines from the original that only the people who watch the original would get. Like, the White Lighter is in love with one of the witches, but not the middle sister. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then like Phoebe and her whole past of darkness, they play with that, but they don't do it. One of the sisters is half demon. So it's like, it takes these things and it twists them and it runs with them. And I think the writers are having fun with the reboot. And they're not taking away from what the original was. And I think that's the thing that a lot of reboots get wrong. It's a very delicate line to walk. So for me, the reboots I like the first Charlie's Angels. I didn't see the latest one. The second one was cool. The second one was cool, but it wasn't. What I liked about the second one was that the last 10 minutes where Demi Moore, it was like Demi Moore versus them. Because I like a good.
Okay, you're talking about
I like the last thing, Full Throttle, like the whole Demi Moore being the villain and her like the whole like her returning to Hollywood first off,
right,
and then like kicking motherfucking ass, like handling them they asses on that show. Like I was like, yes. So I love that. I also loved. I have Spider-Man written here. I know we're tired of seeing, and I'm glad the last Spider-Man didn't do the whole Uncle Ben story, because we have seen that so many times. But I still, every time I saw a Spider-Man movie, I was generally satisfied, except for the third one. I feel like the third of the first iteration of Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. Tobey Maguire's third. I think they should have ended that movie when the symbiote fell on the Topher Grace. And then the second movie should have been all about Venom. Instead, they try to cram Venom into like the last 30 minutes. And I feel like you took one of the like best conflicts in that whole universe and just threw it away.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but besides that one, I really liked every movie that came up. So now we're talking about reboots. We're also talking about TV reboots. I think TV reboots are better. No, let me not say better. I think we're seeing this. We have to first of all decide what's a reboot versus what's a sequel versus what is a reboot or a sequel, because technically the new Scream that's coming out is a reboot and a sequel.
Right.
Yeah, there's a few that are like sequel remakes.
Really?
Well, yeah, because they're calling Scream 5 Scream.
Okay.
They're not calling it Scream 5. They're calling it Scream. So it is supposed to be kickstarting the series over. However, all of the actors from that survived, which would be David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, and Marley Shelton, are all in this movie. Now, Marley Shelton, if you don't remember, she played officer, I forget her name, but she was the blonde officer who was the only other person to survive the massacre in the fourth one. And they usually don't do that. Like, people have survived every Scream movie along with the main three, but they never carry them over. Like the black cameraman in Scream 2, he survived. Patrick Dempsey survived Scream 3, but we don't see them again. So anyway, so I want to open up the conversation. So let's talk about that. Just a few honorable mentions before I open it up. We have like the Roseanne reboot. I have to laugh because like she really talked herself out of that paycheck.
Yeah,
she did.
Especially because they just took her out of it, and motherfuckers are still watching it. They don't even care.
It's actually good without her, to be honest. She was the name on
which has to be a huge hit to your ego. Because I'm sure she was thinking, "Oh, them motherfuckers ain't gonna be shit without me." And then the cast of motherfucking the comments said, "Now that you're out of my life, I'm so much better." Okay, so let's open it up.
That's some fucking karma. That's some karma for you.
Okay, so whoever wants to go.
Ooh, okay, so oh wow. Okay, so I like the Charm reboot. I do enjoy the Charm reboot. I have not seen the second iteration of Spider-Man. I didn't get into that. I don't know.
You mean the Andrew Garfield one?
Yeah, I'd never watched those. I haven't watched those yet. So like I've seen the Tobey Maguire. I've seen the recent ones, which I think those are really good. I like that it focuses more on him being in high school. That he does a really good.
Seem more like
Yes. So like I got to get into that, but I'm trying to think of like what other reboots I've seen where I'm just like, why did they do this? There was a reboot for another CW show that I wish that I don't know why they felt the need to do it. Roswell.
I saw that.
I thought that was Dexter doing well.
I don't know, honestly, because I
watched it.
She's like, I stopped watching it.
No, like I didn't watch it because it's like I have an issue with some of the people involved, like in the writing for that. So like I just don't care for. What's her name? Karina McKenzie or something like that. So like some folks that stemmed off of like the Vampire Diaries writing staff, like I'm iffy about a lot of them. Like I don't watch Legacies or anything like that. And like,
bro, you really got beef with the writers of
I do have beef with them, and I can't help it. I'm sorry.
You bring that up like every week. You're like, fuck the writers of TVD,
right? But so I've seen like Lance Johnson just brought up like has anyone seen the Saved by the Bell reboot, or I guess continuation? I guess it's it's not really a reboot anymore because they've done like continuations in some form, like
it's a sequel, I guess.
But I've heard good things about the Saved by the Bell one.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about it, but I don't want to purchase another streaming site. I've already done that.
Is it only on streaming? It's not coming on TV?
No, I think it's like Pluto or something like that.
No, it's Peacock.
Pluto's free. No, Pluto's old stuff though.
No. Okay,
Peacock.
Peacock, that's the one. Like
Peacock.
That's another one. Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, Peacock. Yeah, it's Peacock.
I ain't
purchasing no other streaming services. They already got way too much.
Right? Do we really need them over?
If somebody want to give me their Peacock login,
that's what we need to start doing. We need to start. If everybody on this panel buys a freaking
a streaming site,
and then we just share the password, we'll have everything we need.
I think so.
But y'all corporations didn't hear that from us. Okay.
Hello.
Right. Look.
Hello.
We're doing none of those things.
You don't know
none of them.
No.
But yeah, no, actually, the Saved by the Bell one, I did hear about that one, and I'm kind of a love-hate with that because, well, first of all, Mario Lopez, I do love him, but he's problematic, so it's like, oh, do we really want to?
I know, man. I hate his dudes like him because he's so like his temperament. He's beautiful, but it's also his temperament. Like he seems like such a nice.
No, you could tell he'd be like so much small just because. Like,
I just want to eat cookie dough ice cream out of his dimples.
Yeah,
I want to eat a lot of things.
It's the time he comes from. He's a beautiful man who's been like at the top of the pedestal of like masculinity for his entire life. There's not
a person alive that would debate Mario Lopez's hotness. Not a person alive.
That's what I'm saying, but that's my point. It kind of helps facilitate that toxic thought process.
And he's gotten better over the years.
Hello, fountain of youth.
How? Right. Like I hate people who I look at their old pictures and be like, oh, and I look at them now and be like, how?
What did happen?
How?
How did you do that?
Yeah,
not a wrinkle nowhere.
Give me some of that secret sauce. Whatever that is.
See, that sounded like a whole different movie, Chris.
He's like, man,
I will watch
some of that secret sauce. I was like, wait a minute.
I want the secret sauce.
Wait a minute. Where can I find this movie? And I would really like to watch it, by the way.
In the comfort of my home, in the dark.
That sound like Megan Thee Stallion's new song. Give me that secret sauce.
That
wasn't.
But anyway,
did I go too far?
I was like,
it's looking forward to it. My thing is just that as long as they don't. Well, obviously it's gonna change because, like, the Saved by the Bell was what, the 90s. So like the 90s were like pretty crazy times. Like what we put on TV and the things that like we talked about, said, did. Like we were very not PC in any way. We didn't give a fuck about anybody. You know what I mean? Like during those times. So it's like as long as they don't revive too much of that and just keep it to like problems that kids face. Then
they don't need to make it like Euphoria. It doesn't need to be Euphoria.
Yeah.
Have you seen a preview for it?
I haven't seen it.
The preview is very, like, if you see the preview for it, it's very Jesse centric. First of all, kudos to them because I haven't seen Jesse in anything.
No,
because they say Showgirls really ruined her career. However, Showgirls back then was taboo for an actor to do. Now, when you have women really not allowed to, when women are really claiming their sexuality as their own, like I'll express it how I want to, it's not so problematic. And so it's really great that, because I think what she did was she left the show like Saved by the Bell and she said, I don't want to get stuck in that vein, like being viewed that way. Kind of sort of what Daniel Radcliffe did, where he did that show Equus off of Harry Potter. However, first of all, he did that show on Broadway and the recordings of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So only people who saw that and who read the play really know about it, right? Mm. But the idea is, let me do this really thing that's totally opposite of that so I can still have room to grow as an actor. It's only a few actors that have really been able to pull off going from child star to adult star. Raven Simone,
Drew
Barrymore, my favorite
Regina King.
Yeah.
It's difficult to do because especially Hillary motherfucking Duff. Oh my God. Hillary Duff.
They're doing what you call it?
No, they're not. They canceled it.
Okay. Well, it was definitely
Lizzie McGuire.
It was on the agenda to do another Lizzie McGuire, but did they cancel it or they're just pausing it?
No, she actually herself said no, it's not happening.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Like it had been said like a couple months ago, but like because they weren't like vibing on like where they wanted the show to go, like was it supposed to be more like how Raven's House is, like the sequel or reboot for That's So Raven is, where it's focusing more on like the kids and like it's still like kids centered on Disney Channel as opposed to like Lizzie McGuire being an adult, a 30-year-old woman, like navigating life, not necessarily with kids, but like with some more adult themes. Not necessarily like raunchy, but like a more adult.
It's not so kiddie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, that makes sense to me because That's So Raven was a like slapsticky, cheeky, tongue in cheek. That's what that show was. Lizzie McGuire was totally about her love life. That show was about her love
Lizzie
life.
McGuire was more preteeny. It was definitely more like
drama.
Yeah, it definitely it had its
drama.
funny moments because she was so accident prone and awkward, but it definitely gave me like young Sex in the City. Not the sex part, just the idea of like,
Wow.
but it's like a group of friends and they're all navigating their love lives and their friendship with one another. So as adults, you would just see that in an adult sense. Raven-Symoné's show being what it is makes sense because it doesn't feel like a different show. When you watch Raven's Home, it feels the same as That's So Raven. If I was to see a Raven's Home version of Lizzie McGuire, that would feel like a different show.
Right.
Now I
Can
do
we
want to
talk
see
about Fuller House?
No,
Can we
because
talk
of
about
that one
Fuller
lady.
House?
No, because of that one lady who's on that show.
Aunt Becky?
That's her name, for real, Becky.
No, that's not her real name, but like we all know her as Aunt Becky.
I'm saying that's her character's name.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, we can talk about Fuller House. I'm just being
Because that is a travesty. Why?
Is it?
Why did they?
I haven't watched it.
Why did they do that?
I thought it was actually going well. Like they made it seem like it actually was doing well.
It means getting renewed.
I couldn't make it past the first episode. What were
What'd you say, Alex?
I said it got renewed. So
They
it must
did
have
get
been
renewed.
something.
Like they're getting renewed. Like people are watching Fuller House like religiously.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Thomas watched it.
Thomas, see, you got one in your house and you don't even. So you got somebody right there you can ask like, why do you watch this?
It is terrible.
Thomas,
And
if
I
you're
was
watching,
confused.
please let us know why you watch Fuller House.
There are people that do watch it though. They like
They
it.
do.
Then you know what show I really think they should have brought back instead of Fuller House? Step by Step.
Oh,
Yes, that was such a good show.
Step by Step was my show.
Which one's
Step
that?
by Yo, that was back in the 80s, 90s when every show had a good old soft rock opening.
Yeah.
It was the same guy that sang the theme song for Family Matters. It was literally the same guy.
Yeah. Yo, he was getting paid. He is probably still getting paid from singing those
Residuals.
Yeah, he probably getting residuals because people watching Steve Urkel. They did a 25th anniversary of the Family Matters, and they actually talked about doing a reboot of Family Matters. That's interesting because Jaleel White has always said that he never wants to play that part again.
I believe him.
He said having to play Myrtle was traumatizing for him because he had to, put on the dress, which is another thing altogether.
Yeah, that's silly. But I will say that I will give him a little bit of credit to that because that is like a trope of like
the black man has to dress in drag.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
As a black man, I'm gonna say this: I've never seen Will Smith in drag. Secondly, he did play a gay person, but I've never seen him in drag. Secondly,
he does.
Wait. Robin Williams, Robert De Niro. Like it's not just it's a lot of actors out there who and look at Samuel L. Jackson. Not once has he played anything near a woman, and he is very sick. He got jobs on jobs. So I don't think it. I think some people talk about the people who play women that are black, which are like what Martin.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a black comedy thing. You know what I mean? Where they bring like that into like the comedy.
Tyler Perry
and Martin
Murphy,
and Jamie Foxx. Eddie Murphy did play a woman. But this is the difference. This is the difference between that. Eddie Murphy had built a career before Nutty Professor. He built a career on playing multiple characters in a movie. So when he did Nutty Professor, I think it was less about him doing drag and more about him playing all the characters.
Right.
Because he'd already been doing that. But you can still argue that it is about black people. Like, I get it. But then I never saw Richard Pryor play no woman. Kevin Hart's never played a woman. Mike Epps has never played a woman.
There's certain actors that
I know Michael. He's a comedian. Mike Myers is a comedian. But Michael Epps has never played a woman. Cat Williams has never played a woman. Chris Tucker's never played a woman. Craig Robbins has never played a woman.
That's true.
I think there's more people who haven't played a woman than that have. Like Dave Chappelle's never played. I don't think he's ever played a woman.
No.
There's a couple people you mentioned that I was like,
one of his characters.
they not play women?
I think it's really Jamie Foxx, Tyler Perry, and Martin. Those are the only ones I can think of.
There's another.
The Wayans brothers.
The Wayans brothers.
Yeah.
Did they play women?
And white chicks?
White chicks.
White chicks.
But they were hot before white chicks.
I mean, I don't think it's a degree about being hot or being not hot. I think it's just
it's more the
bravery thing.
Yeah.
It's what, Chris?
Like it's like a bravery thing. Like they feel like they man enough to play a woman and still get away with it.
I mean, I get the idea. It's like in order to be successful, you have to do this thing because they want to emasculate black men. I get that.
I don't know if there's like a reason behind it, but
Chris Tucker was not
an effeminate male. Is not a woman.
He was Ruby motherfucking Rob.
That's still not a woman.
An effeminate
he was
man.
effeminate, but he was very sexual. I mean,
he had full on sex with a woman in that movie. There is no.
But he was effeminate. Isn't?
My point is
feminine still have sex with women.
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same. To say an effeminate man is a woman is not. They're false equivalents.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
I don't think he was effeminate.
Oh yeah, but no, I
think he was just more like outlandish and outrageous,
flamboyant.
I guess it's more just like it's the whole like comedy trope of poking fun at like the gay person, I guess, is really what it is. You know, that's kind of what like the whole drag thing is, and then the next step is like the femininity.
But then so then is drag okay? Is drag a thing that only gay men can do?
No,
that's a whole different conversation. We're not going to go down there. We'll talk about that, but it just brings up the idea. I'm just thinking like
it's just a different art. But yeah,
this is the interesting thing about it because when I was in jail, I was talking to somebody about like there was a commercial. We were watching like Wild 'N Out or something, and a commercial for RuPaul's Drag Race came on. And, you know, you get the people who have their reactions like, "Oh, this is weird," and I was like, and I turned to them and was like, "So it's weird for just the drag queens. You understand the difference between like a transgender person, drag queen?" And I explained it to them, and I was like, "So is it weird for you to see RuPaul's Drag Race, but you watch Medea movies and don't have a problem,
right?
And you watch Wanda or Shanae and don't have a problem?" And they didn't see the connection. They were like, "That's not that's not the same." I was like, "It's absolutely the same thing. It's a man dressing up as a woman for comedic purposes. That's what drag is. Like most drag queens are most are comedians. Either they're like, you know, comedians would be like glamour girl, you know,
entertainment.
Entertaining part.
It's not that they live as that's entertainment, and so there's no different. Like Tyler Perry, when he does Medea, is doing drag.
Yeah,
right.
Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
right, back to reboots. My bad.
Right.
Ricky don't like when we get derailed. I love a good derailment. I love a good old derailment.
I'm just saying, like we spent like a whole hour on like what we're geeking out about, but whatever.
I of course have.
All right, Rakia, what are the reboots that you want to talk about?
I already said my piece. For y'all.
It's just like I've been done. Okay, well I have a list. I'm just gonna go through them really quick.
Go ahead, Julie.
Are you pulling out your binder, Julie?
Yeah, it's right here. So if anyone, so you know, if anything pops out to anybody, then stop me there. Okay. So I'm gonna go from the bottom up because I've got the Secret
Garden. Always go from the bottom up, buddy.
Bottom up. That's how it works. Okay, the Secret Garden. I think it would be nice because the magic of the Secret Garden.
You're saying that you want these to be reboots?
It's supposed to be a reboot. Whether in the list that I found are like reboots of the future, ones that have already come out like this year, the ones that are coming up the next year, and then two to be determined. So it's like ones that are kind of in the works of talking about, I guess, you know.
Okay.
So for example, like Lizzie McGuire was on there as to be determined, but now we know today that obviously it's not going to happen. So so the Secret Garden is one. I think that would be great because it would be they could bring the magic of the Secret Garden today much better than back in the past.
5 Secret Garden movies already. We are okay. We are okay. Everybody gets it. The Garden is Secret.
Okay. Saved by the Bell we talked about. Fresh Prince they're redoing. Rugrats they're going to come back.
Wait. You're talking about the Fresh Prince, though. I want to talk about that.
I think that might be the reunion, though.
No. It's actually a reboot. But the difference is, apparently somebody reached out to somebody or whatever, and they said, what if the Fresh Prince was a drama? And so they did like a pilot episode where the Fresh Prince was a drama about like this kid who's really leaving the inner city because it was so rough. And so Will Smith saw it and was like blown away by it and was like, we're making this a show.
I saw that.
It doesn't take much to blow Will Smith away. So.
Don't do that to that man. He had a real rough year. Okay, that was a lot of shade. It got real dark. Okay?
I'm just trying to console Will Smith on the regular, so I would.
He probably would like for you to console him.
If you not comfort him, because I need him to know that I have his back. All the
have time. It his front, his back, his left, his right, whatever you want to have.
Oh my God!
I'm sure he would allow it.
What is going on in that little corner over there? I hear all this shade. She's over there just throwing them out. Just shade.
Will you come from for Will Smith and his big ass ears?
Like my lights done dim like 5
Right. It's dark over
Will
here.
Smith.
He's had a really rough relationship year, okay?
Will Smith is also one of the Mario Lopez
nothing.
types.
Oh yes.
Oh, to me?
Gets better with age, just like
man. I've never thought he was an ugly person. Never.
Oh, never.
No, he's not ugly.
But over the years,
he's just not attractive.
Every time I look back and I'm like, what's going on?
Not attractive? It's okay.
He's not ugly. He's just not attractive.
There's no such thing. Either you're ugly or you're attractive.
You can be not ugly and not attractive.
Listen, first of all, I don't believe in the word ugly.
Okay.
I don't.
Man.
Because I feel like everybody is fine to somebody for one. For two,
I'm sure.
For two, everybody ugly to somebody too. So
That's
I feel
fine.
like this. Like I feel like that's a word that causes more harm than it does positivity. So it's a word that I don't believe in. We don't. How about this? We at Woe Nelly Media don't condone the use of
Alex, where you been?
Nobody brought up ugly.
You can say shit, damn, motherfucker, goddamn.
You brought ugly into this conversation. I never said he was ugly. I said he was not attractive.
Say ugly, but
I never
didn't
said
say
he
you
was
did.
ugly.
I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did. But
I don't think that he's ugly. He's
in
just
the same sentence.
So there's Fresh Prince. Okay, really fast. The Rugrats are gonna do Inspector Gadget. They're coming out. I think. Okay, wait.
The Rugrats.
Are we going to include? Are we going to?
They're doing a live action.
Live action remake.
But they're using adults to play babies. I don't know how.
I can't hear Julian's question.
I'm about to mute her. Rakia.
Are we including live actions as reboots?
I would
say what?
Yeah. Okay.
Say it one more time, Julian.
If we're including live actions as reboots.
No.
Why not?
Of course.
I say no. It's everybody can, like, if y'all want to consider that a reboot, feel free. I don't consider that's an adaptation. It's like Ma Rainey, which we talked about before. That's an adaptation. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot. It's an adaptation of something else. When you're taking something and completely reshaping it to a whole different medium, taking something from animated to non-animated is a total reshaping.
Well, but these days it's a little different. Well, I didn't see Mulan, for example. If whoever had seen Mulan,
that's not a reboot to me.
To the original, you know what I mean?
That's an adaptation.
I would think it might be an original because I'm pretty sure they're going with the same storyline. You know, it's just
so like I saw Mulan but I also was keeping up in the news with what was the preparation for like I had already read before it premiered it's not going to be like the original cartoon where they did the singing and
which is why a lot of people didn't see it.
Right.
Everybody who likes Mulan wants to see the make a man out of you. Period.
Right.
Who is that crazy?
And reflection. That's what we go to that. How dare you take my Christina?
Don't catch me in the mirror because I'm singing that song. I'm telling you that right now. Every time. Literally every time.
Live.
But I enjoyed Mulan, the live action, because I already had that expectation of it's not going to be like the cartoon. So let's give this as another take on this. Granted, because it has the Disney overhead of it, you have certain expectations for it. But I took it as it's not the same, and I was okay with it. I enjoyed it. You gotta change your expectations for some of these things, because this is one of the few ones where it wasn't almost a word for word, line for line adaptation of those.
You're saying you like the Mulan reboot,
but I don't think it should be
remake or adaptation more than you liked the other.
So then shouldn't the new charm be an adaptation instead of a reboot?
No, because I said it's an adaptation if you're taking it from one medium to the next. To me, animation is not the same as live action. That's a different medium because it's produced 100% differently. So writing a book versus doing an animated film, those are two different. They're produced totally different ways. So to me, they're different. So I would consider. Okay, so let me ask this question: the Brandy Cinderella. What do y'all consider that?
That's an adaptation.
That's Cinderella.
I think that's yes, Alex. It's Cinderella.
The only one.
That's the only Cinderella I watch.
I don't know no other Cinderella. She be like, who this?
Exactly. I don't recognize any others.
The thing with that, because you make a point, because Cinderella itself is, the story itself has been around for ages, and then the Brandy one is based off of the Broadway musical Roger and Hammerstein, which that makes it that's an adaptation. That's a TV adaptation of the Broadway musical, which we have plenty of those. And
but then every other version of it, it's an adaptation. Even the live action version, which is based very loosely off of the animated Disney film before. Right. So to me, when you're crossing mediums, that's when it's an adaptation and not a reboot.
But think about this though, Duryea. Think about this. If the Cinderella was on Broadway, like if Brandy's Cinderella was on Broadway and it was just being introduced, it would be a revival, which is like a reboot. That's not like
no.
It's the same show.
Revival, a revival. Okay, re-explain, because I just want to make sure before I say what I'm about to say. What are you saying? Say it one more time.
I'm saying it's the same show. Like Brandy's Cinderella is not an adaptation. It's the same exact show.
You're adapting it you adapted it for film. That's literally the term that they use. Adapted for the film.
There's already a film of Cinderella, Rodgers and Hammerstein's with.
Here, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of why it. Well, in that case, then that's different. Then, if they were adapting the already one, but my point is this: like the scene where Brandy is riding to the freaking fair, to the ball, and Whitney Houston is flying. That did not happen on stage. I promise you, because it was adapted. That scene could only happen on film. Yeah, that's why it's an adaptation, because it could only happen that way on film or animated. But it's an adaptation. So even if they might be small differences, but those differences make a huge difference. Like when we're going from one scene to the totally different thing, and like you couldn't do that on stage. You know, like the whole moment of her getting her. Anyway,
I'd go with you both. Because you're right. When you change it from one medium to the next, adaptation. But Chris is the one in question. The example we use, it's a little bit of both. It's an adaptation of the actual story of Cinderella. It is a reboot of the original Roger and Hammerstein play.
That I will give you.
So it depends on what you're relating it to. You know,
I will give you
that. The only difference is because we've had more of these, more of the Broadway shows on TV, whereas the Brandy Cinderella wasn't made for a live on stage.
No, it was made for TV.
Right.
Yeah.
It was made, as opposed to they've done Grease, they've done Hairspray, they've done something whereas it's supposed to be the Broadway production, but they're just filming it and showing it up for everyone with the audience.
So I wanna argue with Simone real quick. Listen, he says reboot includes the original characters, concepts, and story. Incorrect. Because if that was the case, then Charmed would not be a reboot, because those are not the original characters. Piper, Paige, and Phoebe and Prue, I ain't seen them. I ain't seen Penelope. I ain't seen Grams. I'm sorry, Penelope is Grams. I ain't seen Patricia. I ain't seen Leo. I ain't seen Chris. I ain't seen not now one. So, but I think concept is a little bit more accurate, but characters not so much. But concept and story, I can message you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I feel like okay. Back to reboots. So, what is something that y'all want to see rebooted? Wait. He want to argue for real. I'm sorry. He says Charmed isn't a reboot; it's a remake. Let's discuss. Is it a reboot or the remake?
I guess. Well, I think that's where he's making that distinction between remake and.
We heard you the first time, Tamar. You don't got to put nothing in caps.
Where a reboot is more the original characters, the original concepts, and the original story being redone.
So Charlie's Angels not a reboot,
created again, and then versus a remake, which is being remade with a new spin.
So Charlie's Angels isn't a reboot.
Charlie's Angels wouldn't.
Which one?
I feel like most
all of them.
I feel like
none of them use the original character.
I feel like most of these things would be remakes. The only ones that would be reboots.
Okay, so I looked it up.
Spider-Man that does the same motherfucking storyline every fucking time.
I looked it up. When I looked up reboots, the first movies that came up were Hellboy, Tomb Raider, which used the original characters. This is where I can argue with you, Simone. The Craft. They listed The Craft as a reboot.
Yeah,
which does not use the same characters, even though it's a sequel.
Ghostbusters.
Right.
That's a sequel.
But they listed. Listen, I didn't make this list. It listed Spider-Man as Spider-Man, yeah, of course.
I don't think there's a distinction between them. I'd say that they're all this reboot.
I think a reboot and a remake are very
They
similar.
also said The Mummy was a reboot. Now, this is where I get upset. They said the new Power Rangers was not upset. This is where there's some discussion. Power Rangers, the new Power Rangers, the new Power Rangers, they say it's a reboot. But I thought Rita was the only character from the original. The rest of them were.
No, they all were the same characters.
Yeah,
so it was like Zach and Trini.
Yeah, they had those exact.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it. Okay.
Now, they had like a different. They might have like a different background to them. Like
yeah,
they made it
their
more
origin story is a little different, but
how is Charmed a sequel?
That's what I don't understand. Because it doesn't have anything to do with the original.
Let me tell you, I can clarify because I know what he's thinking. So, spoiler alert. If you watch the latest season of The New Charm, they talk about how these girls are not the original Charmed ones. However, there's the difference. So the girls in The New Charmed are like, it's like Buffy. There's a new one born every generation, a new group of charms. The original Charm is not about that. The original Charm was they will be the strongest witches in history, period. Those three, the power of three, that was birthed after Melinda Warren cast that curse on her death. So there's not this, they're two different storylines. They're not a sequel because they don't intersect. I think what happens is they just wanted to create a possibility to have some crossover, but it still doesn't, because in order for the new Charm to cross over with the old Charm, you have to negate everything about the old Charm. Literally everything, because the source, when he went to try to kill Paige, the idea was once I kill her, the power of three is gone. That's what he thought. Gone. It didn't mention the older point. Lance, point it out. Find the scene in the episode and put it on here where the Charmed ones mention Phoebe and Paige and Prue and Piper. Find it.
Binder out, Lance.
You better get your binder. You better come with your binder and your receipts, because I'm ready. I got all the Charm smoke. I want all the Charm smoke all day, every day.
We only take receipts here, and it's the only way you get any cash back.
No, Sabrina is not. I'm sorry. For the people at home listening, we have another comment from Timon. He's hyphy in the comments right now. He says Sabrina's a remake of the TV show. Actually, no, it's not. It's a remake. It's an adaptation of the comic books. Thank you very much. Get it together.
It is a reboot.
Although, have we heard that the old aunties are going to be on the new season? For the new aunties? I'm excited.
I'm mad that Melissa's not going to be there. Like, where's Melissa Joan Hart?
Melissa Joan Hart probably just doesn't want to be there.
Thank you, Timon. Finally, Timon agrees. It showed a list of other Charmed ones. Yes, it did. But Prue, Piper, Phoebe, nor Paige were on that list. So, anyway, look. Thank you for the geek showing up in the comments. Y'all can come for me because I want all the Charm smoke. I'm ready for the Charm smoke.
I just want to talk about my reboots.
What's your reboot?
Nobody cares about Charmed.
Wait, I'm going to do two more. Blade, and then West Side Story. West Side Story only because they've been filming that right here in Patterson in New Jersey, and I was like on the set. I've been there. Like, I didn't actually get to go on the set, but you could see the set. They wouldn't let us on there, whatever.
So with Charmed,
it was cool. I was like, yeah, this is nice. Okay, go ahead.
I haven't really, before we go into your reboots, I think I got it. I think I figured out the distinction between a reboot and a remake. A reboot uses the same actors. That's the difference. Fuller House, Roseanne. They literally, it's the same story, same characters, same actors, just now.
Yeah.
A remake is a total gutting of the old, just with the concepts and stories, even characters sometimes, but a whole new team of people. So like Power Rangers isn't a reboot, it's a remake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe something like that. I don't know.
There's maybe a small distinction.
Because to me, Roseanne and Fuller House and the Saved by the Bell are different than Charmed, because we're talking about using the same exact cast from however long ago, which Charmed didn't do.
Yeah, like it's clearly a continuation of
the old story.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Alex.
Oh, so things that I don't think needed to be rebooted. They're rebooting Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
I'm not here for it. They're also
Why?
Oh, Animaniacs. They're
doing Animaniacs. They're doing Tiny Toon Adventures. They're redoing.
They're doing Tiny Toon Adventures.
Tom and Jerry. They're doing.
Yes, Chris. Yes. I don't care what Tiny Toons is.
There. I also don't need a reboot of what was the other one? I can't remember. The ones I am excited for though are they're rebooting Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Anybody who doesn't like those original movies is a snob.
Yeah.
Also,
because they're great.
The soundtrack to the original Mortal Kombat is killer.
It's epic. Yeah, I really like
and
that.
For the time that
the final song in motherfucking in Mean Girls is on that soundtrack. It's on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. It's like one of the best songs on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. I was like, I'm pretty sure I know this song because I've listened to this song like 1,000 motherfucking times, and I was like, what? And I looked it up and I was like, this is definitely on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. And they're
all I'm saying is this though, like. People who hate on that old Mortal Kombat movie, you're snobs because
I like
for the time that it came out,
it was epic. Liu Kang,
those effects were amazing.
Right,
I was tripping out as a third grader.
When Raiden had the lightning flashing around him, I was frightened. Okay.
Yeah,
Scorpion and Johnny Cage in the forest.
Oh, that was
right. Talking about.
I'm excited for. I liked the old movie Dune, so I'm excited that they're remaking that one.
I'm so excited for that one.
Dune is a good movie.
That one is like classic. Like, oh my god, that is classic geek culture right there. Dune is like huge. Dune is huge. Dune is what, really hours long, 3, 4, 5 hours.
It's a long movie. Yeah,
make a whole motherfucking series. I'm so
let me be an asshole for a minute. So Lance just wrote, okay, you're right. They mentioned the historical power of 3, but not the crew. Then he goes on to say, remember, it's not always about being right, but LMAO JK, you got it. Don't you come for Talk It Out on the Geekin Out. Don't you do it. Talk It Out. Talk It Out is Monique. Okay. This is Candace. Talk It Out is Monique. So don't you do it.
So you're gonna get beat up?
No, you're gonna get dragged. Okay. Monique will drag you. She won't beat you up. She's gonna drag you though.
I'm also excited for, I guess it's not a reboot technically, but I'm excited for the sequel to Hocus Pocus.
That technically to me, that's great.
I don't know the story yet, so I'm just going to say a sequel.
But also 20 years later.
So it's kind of a reboot sequel.
70 years later.
Yeah, so I'm not sure the storyline yet, so I'm just going to say sequel for right now. But I'm excited about it. I think it'll be cute to see the witches in modern times and how they deal with all that kind of stuff. I think I also was excited for they're
doing Masters of the Universe, guys.
They are doing Masters of the Universe. They're doing a lot of stuff random. They're doing another Carrie.
Right.
They're doing
as long as they bring back Drew Barrymore, because we were just not mentioning her before, and I was like, oh, Drew Barrymore reboots. They're doing Carrie. I will see that.
Drew Barrymore was in the first Carrie.
No, she wasn't. She's Firestarter. Sorry, I'm thinking Firestarter. Wrong one.
So
it's different.
What do y'all feel about?
I'm here for the Carrie one though.
What do y'all feel about the True Blood reboot? I don't think it's actually a reboot, because if this is a reboot, it'll have Anna Paquin in it. I think this is a remake. By the definition that we came up with.
Are they going by the novels? Because
did the original one go by the novels?
I never watched or read.
No.
I don't know.
It was all right for a while. And then it got...
in the comments, I don't know who said it, but they were saying that Reboot is getting rebooted, and I'm very excited about that.
What is Reboot?
Reboot animated show back in
the day. Cartoon?
It used to come on before Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. Light up.
They lived in a computer. They were all computers.
I was here
like that. So it was great.
It was a good cartoon.
It was like a you know what I'm talking about.
I think you can find a reboot on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
think so.
they rebooted it. And so
Reboot was super good. I live who's the villain? Hexadecimal. I live.
Hexadecimal. My favorite was just that pixie bitch, but she did nothing.
Not
but
the pixie bitch.
As the gay, she was my favorite, of course. But I was like, but she really does nothing the entire time.
I'm excited about the True Blood reboot. But let me tell you something. Alexander Skarsgård can't get it. Oh my God!
Wow.
He can't get it. He's got a show coming out. He's got a show coming out that's an adaptation, so it's kind of on topic, called The Stand. Him and Whoopi Goldberg play like, I guess, arch nemesis.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I was watching the preview because anything Whoopi Goldberg whenever that woman picks up a script, I'm there. Okay, let's be clear. So I was watching. I was into it. I was like, okay, and there was this one character that they wouldn't show the face, and I'm like, okay, that's the bad guy. Cool. And then he stepped into the light. I said,
problematic. No, this is problematic. But like in Big Little Lies, when him and Nicole Kidman was having that just really, really rough sex.
Oh, that was a lot.
In Big Little Lies. Look, I didn't watch Big Little Lies. I thought it was going to be too dramatic. But if there's sex
it is dramatic.
I was
see
like,
any of this.
It's
Can I find it on YouTube?
Oh God, y'all!
Right? Is that
I think Big Little Lies is still on Showtime or HBO. 1 and 2.
It's on HBO. And he is abusing her. It is abuse, but at the same time, she likes it sometimes, and I'm feeling like I might be that same person.
Tell us how you really feel.
Ooh, Chris, I feel you because when I watched Lovecraft Country and Journey Smollett was getting slammed around left and right, I was
Journey
like,
Smollett did a sex scene.
Yeah,
Journey Smollett. Y'all know that's wifey. Oh, bruh. Look, let me get turned out. Watch it. Let me tell you something. I always think I'm a freak until I see some shit on the internet and be like, I like this video.
Hello.
Oh my God.
I can't.
Wait.
Journey Smollett is supposed to be like a good girl. I thought she was like a girl.
But she's like the promiscuous, like wild child sister. Like she's the revolutionary in that particular show. So I like it.
You haven't watched Lovecraft Country yet?
Right.
Listen, I told you how I feel about stuff. Like I like to watch stuff after it's popular. Like I just watched Black is King. Because people
ran through. Oh, sorry.
People are still talking about. Lovecraft Country every other day. That's another reason I haven't seen The Mandalorian. Which sucks because let me tell y'all something about spoilers. Don't spoil people. Because now that I found out how the end of season 2 ends, and I haven't even seen episode 1 of the first season, I'm like mad as hell. I'm like, bro, that would have been such a shocker to me to have found that out live. So thank you. And that only happened last week.
Luckily, I haven't seen it, so
me neither.
Yes, be careful. Like scroll through Facebook very slowly.
I know I do.
Very slowly.
I can't. Oh, I think the last thing was somebody said in the comments. I'm sorry, I really need to look at the comments and who said it, but they were asking about the live action anime movies versus the animated ones. Like Netflix has a Bleach live action now. They have a
Titan. They did a Full Metal.
Are those reboots and remakes? I feel like I guess they fall under the adaptation category again, but they all suck.
Why is everybody coming for me in the comments?
They all suck though.
They all suck.
I haven't even read the comments, guys.
They're coming for me in the comments. You are tripping.
Now I have to read them because they're coming. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, look, I said what I said. I will watch it when I want to watch it. I will watch every show when I feel like watching it. I did watch. I'm up on Potomac though.
You just saw Black is King?
Yeah, it was good too. I sat downstairs. I had me a little nap.
They are airing you out in the comments.
I know, right? They're going for me real bad in the comments. Listen, Black is King, and then I was watching. I was like,
Black is King the night it came
I was in the basement, like, because I knew all the songs already, and then I ain't had nobody to mess with me. Yeah.
Oh, it was Lance that said it. Hey, Lance. But Lord, Black is Duryea.
I love Beyonce, and what you will not do, Facebookers and internet trollers, is ruin any Beyonce experience for me. I'm gonna watch it when I can watch it when I don't have your negative, judgmental comments in your head. Speaking of, she's supposed to be performing at the Grammys. That's the word on the street.
Oh, I thought you said she posted you performing at the Grammys, and I was like, how?
That would take about 7 miracles, but I'm open to them. But no,
claim it. It's the Negro superpowers are happening. So
But her and Megan Thee Stallion is supposed to be performing. So if that happens,
that'd be fun.
Y'all already know. Here is another thing. I want to talk about Scream for a minute.
Oh God.
I want to go back to that. Because I'm actually mad. Like, I just thought about that today. Like, I'm very upset that it's not Scream 5. Like, in my head, this is how it was going to go. Kirby was still alive. They didn't actually, because we don't see her die. Like, Kirby was still alive, right?
Who was Kirby?
Kirby was Hayden Panettiere's character, who originally was supposed to be like the star of the new 3 movies, right? That's what they were talking about, something like that. So I was in my head, I was like, okay, Kirby didn't die, and she gonna come back. And then it's gonna be Scream 5, and somehow they're gonna tie her, and and all, but that's not happening because she's not even listed on the cast list. Also, at the same time,
I heard.
How are you gonna reboot? This is what I don't like. The first 3 Scream movies were succinct. They were a story. It was a trilogy, period. But now, then you add the 4th one to it, and now you're rebooting it, and there's no quadrilogy. So I don't know. That's like
not a word.
I know, I just made a word. Y'all motherfuckers been making up words this whole episode.
Y'all, one person made one word.
Well, and y'all accepted it, so y'all can't just.
We're not accepting quadrilogy though. So.
Quadrilogy. until you look, I focus on solutions. Find me a better word, and I'll use it. Until then,
series.
No, it's a quadrilogy. Anyway, quadrilogy.
That is crazy.
Okay, physiotic. Okay.
Okay, somebody. Hey, throwback to season 1 of Love and Hip Hop. Somebody in the comments, Tamon said, you will find out what happens to Kirby in Scream 5. He teasing because he always claimed he know everything that's going on. He always claimed he knows something about somebody when they filming and when they writing.
What's the last thing Hayden Panettiere has even been in? So
Heroes. Actually, Nashville. It was Nashville, wasn't it?
Was it Nashville?
It was Nashville.
But she was actually really good as Kirby. I could have definitely dealt with the series about Kirby.
I don't know if I actually saw that one then. Because I don't remember her. Hayden Panettiere.
You would remember her. Yeah, you would remember her. She was definitely, you would not forget her in this movie. She had too many scenes. He said he's a Scream doctor. Don't call yourself that. Because that
he's a Scream queen?
No, I mean, he said Scream doctor.
Oh, okay. Scream Queen is another show, which I did enjoy.
Any more reboots?
Tamal's trying to get on the show. That's what the
right.
He always be trying to get on the show.
All the tea.
He been talking about that.
There's Toxic Avenger. There's Escape from New York from back in the day.
Escape from New York with Kurt Russell.
Highlander. They're doing again because we need another motherfucking Highlander. Apparently.
That's Raiden.
Highlander.
Yeah, that's
Raiden. The original Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Exactly, but I don't think
Duncan MacLeod from the Clan MacLeod. Get your facts. Come on now.
Another motherfucking Highlanders.
I loved Highlander. It came on right before Xena and Hercules. I loved it.
Right. All right. So do we have
They should
any
reboot
more?
Xena.
Listen, Tamon, you gotta listen. These are planned in advance. Okay, this was scheduled like a month and a half ago. Anyway, so if there's no more reboots, we're gonna head into actually we're gonna wrap up. So let's do a few reboots. If anyone has any honorable mentions.
Agree about Highlander. Yeah.
I'm all here for a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot.
They talked about doing that
with a black Slayer.
They talked about doing that. But here's my question: do you want it to be Buffy or do you want it to be continue? I'm sorry, let me rephrase. You want this to be a Slayer movie, or I'm sorry, a Slayer series in the same world as the Slayer, just 20 years later, focusing on a black Slayer, or do you want Buffy as a black girl?
No, I do not need Sarah Michelle Gellar walking around with her crickety knees trying to stab a vampire. I'm okay.
What you will not do is ever disrespect.
First of all, she just did a commercial with Freddie Prinze Jr. and they look old. Okay, I'm not here for them.
They are old. I mean, that's fine to be old. Ain't nothing wrong with being old.
I'm tired of older actors. I'm sorry, this is a whole different episode, but I'm tired of older actors deciding they're gonna just jump into action things in their 50s and their 40s.
That is very ageist. That is very ageist. It is because if you look at Regina King, she just got nominated for an Emmy for doing Watchmen. She's in her 50s,
but she does a good job. If your needs
look at Halle Berry,
look at Halle Berry. Not what I'm here for.
Halle Berry and Keanu Reeves, in my opinion, shot one of the best action sequences.
Matrix 4 is coming too.
Keanu Reeves and Halle Berry shot one of the best action films in a film ever. If you haven't seen John Wick 3, when her and John Wick running through that complex with them dogs, It'll change your life, I swear. And they're both in their 50s.
Don't,
so I don't think
that's a tall order. Okay, don't say that my life is gonna be changed because I like action movies.
That's
I'm
fine.
picky.
To me, it was one of the best action films in my opinion. She always notice what's the only opinion she had to come for this whole last 2 hours. Anyway, to me,
everybody else made sense.
That's fine. That's fine. To me,
Good times. Oh, shut up.
I don't.
Oh yeah, they are doing remake of Good Times. I think Netflix is doing that.
Animated.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't.
I don't know. If Halle Berry and Keanu Reeves is not hitting like the hallway scene from The Raid, I don't want to watch it. Okay.
To me, the sequence was amazing because for one, the experience was almost like they didn't take any takes. They didn't have any cutaways. I'm sorry.
Like
who saw that? That's who in the audience. Has anyone seen John Wick 3?
Look, Derek, we're going to go.
All right. Go ahead, Rakia.
No, like I'm.
Go ahead. Go ahead, because you could have sent that to me a lot of different ways. Go ahead. Because you could have sent that to me in the chat. But go ahead.
It was already in the chat.
Go ahead. Where's in the chat? Where's in the chat? I don't see it. So go ahead. Go ahead. Everybody want to embarrass Curry on the internet. Go ahead.
Look. Anyways, I'm not sure how I feel about a animated remake of Good Times.
And then the girl got the damn nerve to tell me to get off the motherfucking air and then go back to the main topic.
Rakia, I feel you.
Thank you. Anyways, I don't have
double standards. Motherfuckers feel like they could just come for me on the internet. I'm cool. I feel like that's not gonna happen though.
A remake of Good Times?
No, y'all not gonna come for me. That's what I mean.
You know what? Anyways, go ahead, Chris. What you mean?
Chris gotta go.
Me? Oh, me. What's the remake? It. I loved it.
Gremlins is also
Star
getting
Born.
Yeah.
A Star is Born. I loved it.
Didn't watch that.
Ghostbusters. I didn't see it, but I want.
I love that one. I love that one.
Good, so good. That one.
I love the remake.
Jumanji? Did we need to? I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah.
Jumanji, because they can't seem to get.
Yeah, like Jumanji 3 now. At this point.
You said because they can't get it right.
Because they can't get enough. Apparently,
Can't get enough.
Have you seen the new Jumanjis?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my god. Those are amazing films.
I like the first one. The second one was okay.
Honestly, like to me, that's how you do whatever we're gonna call reboot. That's how you do it because it never steps on the original at all.
Right.
It doesn't disgrace anything about the original.
Because the classic Jumanji is still
classic.
The bomb.
But the new movies are as themselves classic movies too. Because I've never laughed so hard as watching Jack Black. Now, if there's ever an Oscar for comedy, he should have got an Oscar for that movie.
When Alan, what's his name, Rickman's car got swallowed up by the vines in that first Jumanji, and he
David Allen.
David Allen, sorry.
David Allen Greer, right.
That's literally, I've never laughed so hard in a movie.
To me, but Jack Black playing those characters that are nothing like
the
him.
Girls, yeah.
Well, in the second one, he plays the black dude.
Yes.
And watching him play it, I was ready to be.
Forth.
You know how? Well, it's interesting because he played the black dude without feeling offensive. It felt just incredibly honest, and I was laughing my ass off.
Versus Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
That was a little different though. Like to me, the Robert Downey Jr. thing in Tropic Thunder was I'll pass on that.
I thought he was funny, but
anyway, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. So everyone. We're gonna go because Chris got to go.
I'm about to go into renal failure. I swear to God.
Chris gotta go. So Chris had to leave everybody. We're over time. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Today was fun. It was a great episode. We
not coming to America. Big Trouble in Little China is getting a reboot.
Yes, that one as well.
And The Rock is in it.
Okay, that sounds cool. Okay, that was the last one.
That's the last one.
All right, everybody. If you are at home and you're having great holidays, just don't forget about us that we're going to be coming back after the holidays with another all new episode. I'm not sure if we'll be back next week or not, but you'll find out. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check out her podcast, which is once again called the Case of the X. Make sure you like and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Woe Nelly Media, or find Geekin Out on YouTube, or you can also find us on Instagram or Facebook Instagram we are Woe Nelly Media, and on Facebook we are Woe Nelly Media as well. WOENELLY. Make sure. Hold on. Why?
Julie, what do you do?
Why?
Julie, what do you do?
All right, y'all. We will see you all another episode.